I was going to branch off from the colorism issue and saying that, the black women, and talk about this the Rat Man.
Who's that?
Rat Man is the dude that did what's it?
Shiro's
Story. So he's been picked up by
Rock
Nation. That's Jay-Z's company.
You're talking about, bro.
Well, he did this thing called Shiro's Story.
You really like it.
Part 1, 2, and 3.
You'd really like it.
I still haven't seen any of them, but I'm going to. But it's highly loaded. All right, but anyways, so he's doing his first film now. He's done a casting thing, and he's got a few different parts here. Karina, who was the white stroke Mediterranean, is classed as popular, fun, and adores male attention. Cheyenne, who's the black stroke Asian stroke mixed race, is strong, straight talking young lady, no nonsense, and not one to mess with. And Leah, who is definitely the black, is perhaps a non-obvious beauty with a good soul.
You see,
she's confident and knows her own mind, and in underlined, she must be able to sing.
Nah, fucking hell.
Is he kind of pissed off now?
That makes it seem
because I know the story in the background bit. That's why I didn't say nothing.
Shucking and driving.
That's why I didn't say nothing when you lot was like, well, why? But they took the piss. Must be able to sing, you know.
Fucking hell, bro.
Did that casting breakdown come from the actual production company?
Yeah,
IO casting. Have you heard of dance?
The non-obvious beauty.
What the fuck is a non-obvious beauty? What does that mean?
The actor, isn't it?
Yes. It's a celebration, bitches, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, rodents and frogs in my throat. Welcome to episode 100 of season 2 of the Eloquently Say Nothing podcast. Congratulations, guys. We made it to 100. Second time around. Well, not second time around, really. We didn't do 100 first time, but still. Anyways, we're here. I am Stavros Boss. You can catch me at Stavros Boss everywhere. And in the room with me to celebrate our Centurion, if that's how it's called, we have, the one that was on it first. That actor. Are you web slinger now? Or that actor? What are you?
I'm just here.
Okay.
Fucking late, that's what he is.
DATACTOR on Instagram and Twitter. Webslinger says he sends his greetings, he's not here. But let me quickly just say, to the listeners, your ears are blessed, and we thank you for that. The 5 gentlemen in the room, we salute to that. Thank you for the hours, the minutes and seconds you've listened. Thank you for all the comments and laughter we've given. Thank you to the brothers in the room with me. Thank you for your soliloquy. ESN, we're back again. Hopefully we'll do better. And then.
Okay.
You sound like you're trying to make up with somebody. Hopefully we'll do better.
Making up to the listeners, isn't it?
Well, that's very nice. Thank you very much for your poem, I think. Who's it for? Us or for the listeners?
It's for everybody. It's for us and them.
Okay, well, what's your socials, bro? Oh, you did it. Thank you. Welcome. Yeah. Next.
At Big Wahala on Insta.
Mike.
At Big Wahala on Twitter, man. Gosh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Big Wahala is there. And we also have...
Just pick someone.
I'm trying to remember people's names, man, because...
Simple Simon's there.
See, this is the problem.
I would like nothing more than to have sexual intercourse with Jacqueline. If she were to mutually consent, I would be sure to use a condom. I do not say this to besmirch her good name, nor do I wish to bring attention to her character. I say so because the ecstasy of good sex is juxtaposed only to the burn or the possible death of an STD. That was a poem by the Right Honourable Frisco Kid. The name of the poem is Rubbers. The original incantation of this poem goes as such. Mo want to juke off for Jacqueline, but me have to call for the rubbers, for my rubbers. Sex nice, but the ear sting. Make me die like flowers, die out like flowers.
You know what? It's getting bad, you know. Because you know how many times I've heard that song and I did not know a word that man was saying.
I don't know what song he's singing.
You hear it in rage all the time, and I
Yeah.
did not know that was what the man was singing.
You're not meant to know, anyways.
At Simple Simon FB on Twitter, that's where you can get at me. Yerp.
My missus did one song with me the other day about Royal. Sorry, I got Karen. That Royal song. Yes, right. She said the lyrics, and she goes, "You said say the next lyrics." I just looked at her like, I don't know anything else but that. I don't know anything else but that, bro. What do you mean?
I don't know what song that is.
She's right. She's right. Yes. And I want her in my life.
Never knew anyone. Never kind.
Is this a new song?
No.
It's an old tune, man.
Is it?
It does go deep like that.
And then I want no. No, it's not that song.
Is it a Bashman?
It's called the Bash Taurus,
You've heard it, Steph.
Yeah, but-
She's royal, so royal.
Yeah.
I want her in my life. I never knew anyone.
Okay,
She's one of a
I'll find it.
kind.
I'll find it, and I'll add it to the Spotify playlist. And there you go. All right. We also have Mr. Wolf.
Mm-hmm.
Da-da-da-da-da.
ẹni máa fi ara yí ọlá onítọ̀hún á fi ara yí ẹ̀gbin nítorí inú ẹ̀gbin lọlá ń gbé. ẹni máa fi ara yí ọlá onítọ̀hún á fi ara yí ẹ̀gbin nítorí inú ẹ̀gbin lọlá ń gbé. Whoever wants to be wealthy must be prepared to be inconvenienced, because wealth resides right inside of filthiness. So the way I can explain it to you is for anyone to be rich or wealthy or get on in life, you will be faced with trials, temptations, insults, challenges of various types, but you must never ever give up. If you go through the stories of all great men of today, they went through hell in life, but they never gave up. Okay.
And that is this week's Yoruba proverb.
That your one.
And that was presented by Mama Wolf.
You know what gave me pleasure? Why?
Mama
When
Wolf.
she sucked her
Why,
teeth.
why did you randomly out just go?
Yeah. That was the best bit.
She said one of the sentences. She just went.
I think because maybe she might have didn't say it as fluently as she might have wanted to.
She just sounded like she was just vexed about that sentence there, boy.
Yeah, man.
Baby.
But that is this week's Yoruba proverb presented by Mama Wolf, and I might get her to do proverbs every now and then.
I mean, one of my favorite Yoruba words is nitori.
Nitori. And yeah, it just kind of helps me to be more fluent in the language. You know what I mean? I'm not as fluent as I like to, and when I'm around my parents, I always get them to speak to me in the Yoruba dialect. But anyway, this is Mr. Wolf. You can catch me, aka Mr. Wolf, on Insta, aka _ Mr. Wolf on Twitter. And let's do this. 100, the Centaurial episode.
Is Trump great? Because what trials and tribulations has Trump gone through?
Well, he tried to grab the pussy and
he didn't get it.
he didn't get it.
Is he great?
Well, he has to walk around them blacks, innit? He don't like them. That's for him. His trials and tribulations.
I think he's prominent. Would he ever go down as a great man? Not sure.
That's a good,
Potentially,
that's
he's
a
the
good
president.
question.
Does making it to that type of level make you? What automatically makes you? Does anything defaultly make you a great person? Making a president of a country, does that not make you a great man? What makes you?
think so.
What's the definition?
There's
of a
a
great
lot
man?
of presidents that are not great.
Yeah, but what's the definition of a great person? Isn't that
That's
bespoke to the
subjective,
person? Yeah, subjective to the person.
Yeah, if I say you're great, then I think that qualifies you,
Well,
basically.
there's many people that will say that Trump is great.
That's it. But there's-
A lot of his followers would, without a doubt, that he's a great man and he's doing great things.
A lot of people that dislike him would still say that in certain aspects of like certain areas, he's great at certain things.
And I would go as far as to say that he has gone through some trials and tribulations.
Probably he's bankrupt a couple of times, still in it.
First world problems.
what were we talking about just before we recorded? That I said we were talking about it on the pod.
Was it the Celine Dion thing?
Yeah. Okay. So just to pop, anyone got anything to say before we get into Celine Dion? No, great.
Happy birthday
To whom?
to us.
Anniversary.
Oh yeah.
Anniversary, If
Okay.
it is anything. But anyway, go on.
All right. So Celine Dion has a new clothing line for infants and children that is gender neutral.
What's it called again?
It's some Saluni or so, I don't know. I can't pronounce it. I don't care. But that's what it is. And Mr. Wolf, what was your view on it? Because I asked, did you actually look at, because just looking at it, all the reports are saying she's got this gender neutral stuff for clothes, and it's removing the gender from children's clothing, and it's sordid. It's a video was sent around to the group saying it was devilish or demon, or what was it?
Satanic.
Satanic advert and satanic clothes and whatnot. And then I actually, went and looked at the clothes today. I went to the website.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to know, did you actually look at the website, or did you just...
I watched the video. I looked at the website and her Instagram account. The video that I sent to the group and various groups, obviously depending on...
Of course you did.
Yes. And in some groups, there was good conversation.
I took it to put my own
and there was
duty.
good feedback from it. The video spoke a lot about satanic angles to it. Now, depending on what you believe and who you what your faith is, that's another story entirely. But I think the underlying base current of the conversation is, to me, it kind of makes sense. There's a lot of one eye business going on there, and the whole and in the video there was even a touch of paedophilia in it, and that's why I wanted you guys to exactly. That's
Where?
In the video, I can't remember what minute.
It's only
what second.
the video must be it's based on the advert. They're talking about an advert for this clothing line.
No, the video is about 10 minutes long.
Yeah, but where's the paedophilia in the advert? Because they're talking about an advert.
In the video, not the specific advert itself.
Yeah, but you can't just make paedophilia and toss it on something. Yeah, she's put out a clothing line. And she's put out...
The person has done their research on the actual clothing line. They've looked at some of the advertising material and the way that they've advertised the product line. And there are some kind of photographs that you look at that are a bit quite touching. You look at it and you think, boy, I'm not sure about this photograph here.
Could you tell me what's in the photograph? I haven't seen it. Explain it to me.
If memory serves me correctly, one of the pictures had a lot of it had young girls in kind of like adult type swimwear, and another one had girls with big hands, hand printed hands on them. So imagine like a handprint. So there's two handprints that are on the front and then one on the back, and then there was also a couple of, this whole the one eye business.
Right.
There was quite a lot of that going on.
So they really deconstructed the clothing itself, not just the advert. Because the first
clothing, the advert, the whole lot, the whole gender neutral business, the whole idea of her, Celine Dion saying that, the kids need to make their own choice as to what they are and what they believe they are and things like that. And I don't co-sign it. I think that kids do need guidance. And if that's what they want to do, fine. But I don't co-sign it.
Okay.
You see, when you say like children need guidance, when you say guidance, do you mean guidance in helping them to find out who they are, or guidance in you telling them what you think is right?
A bit of both. I don't think that you should just leave kids to just do what they want, say what they say, think what they think, especially with the society that we live in, because the influences around them, I don't think are for the betterment of our kids and our community. I think that the best form of influence, from my perspective, comes from sane and normal parents, and I say that in inverted commas.
Did you say sane and normal parents?
Yeah.
You really are getting old, boy.
And I say that in inverted commas because to one person, someone who is sane believes it is right to do one thing, and whereas another person thinks it's a bit wild and crazy. So, I know the people that are in my circle, and I see how they parent their kids, and
in my circle,
and I think just based on the people that I know and my family, and there are some parents that are doing, in my opinion, sane and normal things. Allowing a kid to say that I'm not a boy, I'm a girl. I'm thinking, nah, come on.
Now, touching on that,
Stop being silly.
Somebody at my workplace told me that his daughter goes to a girls' school, and they've got suppose I don't know what to call them, because I don't know if they've had the operation, but basically a boy that says he's a girl
in an all-girls school.
Wow. And how old is the child?
My God.
About 8.
Hey, it's like you know, sometimes there are some parenting techniques that just allow your child to think freely and to do freely, and that's all well and good. But I think that there are some there's some limitations to that, or some issues that can arise from that.
I don't know whether or not, I didn't ask any more questions whether or not they asked them if they was okay with it, or if that even a question that they're allowed to ask the other parents whether or not they're okay with it. But obviously the child is there. Wasn't there some other thing in the news the other day about some people that didn't want their children to have sexual education?
Yeah, I'm just trying to find the thing
about
now.
that as well. I don't know.
So what do you, man, think about gender neutral clothing for children and even for adults?
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Because as far as I'm concerned, it's just if you would, they've had color neutral clothes already for children. Like
That's all it is.
Yeah, that's what. Because remember before it used to be pink was for girls, yellow was for girls, and now that this pink is for everyone, blue is for everyone, white is for everyone.
Skirts and all these kind of things.
I don't know, but I haven't looked at it. I didn't care enough to look at it, so I didn't know.
Nobody really gives a shit. Really,
I went there just to look quickly, and I guess I didn't delve into it too much. Then maybe because I didn't see handprints on the website. I didn't see skirts for boys, I guess, either. I just saw, for me, it just looked black and white.
Yeah,
everything was black and white.
Much credence. That's why.
And I thought because
just watch the thing. Sometimes it is of interest.
Yeah, okay. I was busy at the time, and then I never got back to it.
But
I apologize.
For me, if it's of interest, that means I have to be interested in the situation for me, the subject for me to watch it. If I'm not interested in the subject to watch it,
talk about it, innit?
Yeah, but I didn't know we was going to talk about it until now. I haven't looked at any of the list. But okay.
So here's the funny thing, right? The Church of Satan, or the Satanist Church, have recently set to
Church of Satan.
Yeah. They've recently set to sue Netflix.
Oh wow.
Yes, because Netflix had a show, something Sabrina. What's it called?
Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
No, not that one.
Yeah,
It's just called Sabrina.
It's Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Yeah,
That's not it's a modern day version.
That's not what it's called.
No, it's just called Sabrina.
Yeah,
That's the modern day version of the old one.
It's Sabrina the Teenage Witch, though.
But it's actually not just
Okay,
called
but
Sabrina.
anyway,
Oh my
go on.
God.
It's called something. It's called something.
It's called Sabrina, isn't it?
It's got the something world of Sabrina.
Sabrina. Yeah.
Oh,
that's
the dark world of Sabrina.
Okay, so that show, yeah. So in that show, they
wind it up.
Netflix had captured images of a statue of Baphomet, and the statue was specially commissioned by the Satan Church. Didn't get permission. Netflix didn't get permission from them to show that, and they're out here extorting money out of Netflix for it.
Wow.
Which I thought was just quite amazing.
Well, they are Satanists.
Yeah, but they're at a point now where they're getting taken seriously enough to even, like, once upon a time, they would have been like, yeah, whatever, shut up. They wouldn't have been a thing. But now they're out here taking them to court, getting monies and shit for a statue.
But well, it is what it is. Man.
It is what it is.
That's what they pray to, innit? That's their thing. But they specifically copied the specific image.
No, the specific image. And because there's only one of them
like
made.
The children underneath and everything, yeah.
Yeah. So they...
Wow.
For those of you, it looks like a sheep head or a ram's head.
Ram's head.
With a human body or something
Something like
innit?
that, yeah. It's half and half thing.
Some, but then has it got ram's legs or something as well? I can't remember.
It's
what
Usually they depict
It's got
Satan.
hoof, yeah.
So it's like a setador, which is like half horse, half human.
Baphomet isn't actually Satan.
But that's what they used to do. But when they
and
depict
it
Satan,
does
that's
this
what they
like this hand
Yeah,
thing,
gesture,
like it's a Hindu type business.
But that's how they depict Satan, though. When they usually do it, they put like a animal head on the thing and the hoof in it.
I don't know what it actually represents, but it's there. They use it in that Sabrina program, and yeah, they want to sue the Clark.
Sue them Clark, bro.
But who knows? Touching on the thing from earlier on, which somebody brought up, a Christian parent has threatened her child's school with legal action
Oh yeah, I put that.
after it organized a pride parade, which she claimed promoted LGBT lifestyles. This primary school in London held a parade earlier this year in which it encouraged children to celebrate what makes them proud of themselves and their family. The primary school was forced to cancel family invites after a group of parents threatened to stage a protest.
We coming down there.
And the parent that was not happy was a Nigerian. And she said that the event went against our Christian beliefs and was indoctrination.
yeah, but this is what I find weird. Like, as
Christian Concern, a conservatives group, is supporting her as she considers legal action.
this is what I find weird. So this Christian woman is outraged that they're considering that this pride thing is going to be an indoctrination. but she's indoctrinated her child with her own Christianity.
Yeah, but
But that's her child, isn't it?
Yeah, you wouldn't see it like that.
It's weird.
I just think, personally, I think it comes down to choice at the end of the day, innit? You have to give the parent, and this is not the first time that we spoke about something relating to this, sexual education, educating kids with LGBT values and things like that. You have to give the parents the choice whether they want their child to be involved in that or not. Especially at that age. This is primary school. These kids are not 11 going on to 15. This is primary school level. You can't just say we're doing it and then the kid must be there. No, you have to give people a choice to say whether they're going to be involved in that or not.
I was gonna fling that people could then, if you're saying this is something we talk about often, or we've brought up a few times, people could start saying that, this is a homophobic podcast. But then once you brought up the age thing, I said, nah, if anyone mentions that with primary school children, then they're just chatting faff in it, man. Because like we said, we don't want sex stuff being mentioned to primary school children. Full stop. Okay. It doesn't matter what. Allow primary school kids to just be primary school kids.
Let me ask you a question then. So primary school kids,
yes,
Timmy and Tope are friends.
Tope, yes. Yeah,
white and black. Don't really understand race yet.
Timmy is white.
Yeah, Timmy's white.
Right.
Timothy.
No, Tope is white.
Tope is white.
It could be Timmy, innit?
Not Timmy Tope.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
White Timmy and Tope. Yeah.
White Timmy and black Tope.
Yeah. They play together, hold hands. All right. Don't know nothing about race really until they start doing racial history things.
All right.
In primary school. And then they notice the race stuff a bit more. What do you think about that then? What age do you think that you need to understand about the racial prejudices?
I don't think you need to know that in primary school either. Do you need to learn history in primary school? This is up to 10.
Of course you learn history in primary school.
Do you? Do they even have lessons like that in primary school?
Yeah. Yes.
I don't know.
It's been a long time since you've been to school.
I think you should teach older history then maybe. I don't know. I don't want to be teaching my 8-year-old about segregation. Yeah, before all of that stuff, innit? Just teach her about
yesterday
the Moors and I don't know,
which isn't older history.
Happened yesterday, boy.
The Crusades before all of that bad stuff.
Talking about Crusades.
What?
Talking about Crusades. Have you man? Oh, I think it's part of the docket.
Yeah, go on.
The man that went to go to that island to try Christianize the people that kill him dead.
Let's touch on that. But
I laughed so hard. There's two things I laughed this week about that I should have laughed at, but I don't care. That man getting killed and that video of a crocodile. There's a video.
That video of the crocodile.
There's a video that I watched today. This week, sorry, of basically it's a small dog, terrier dog, chasing a crocodile, and a crocodile always runs away. So the people thought it was a joke to keep making the terrier dog chase the crocodile until one day the crocodile said, "Yeah, bitch, you," and just bit his head off.
He said one day, like it wasn't within a 2-minute span that all of this happened.
No, but it's separate days.
There were separate videos, innit?
Separate days.
3 separate videos.
Hold on. Are you trying to tell me this happened on different days?
Yes.
They kept going back to the crocodile to jump the crocodile.
And the crocodile, the crocodile bit the thing's head and just dragged it into the water.
I thought it was the same thing, man.
It wasn't the fact that they killed the dog. It's the fact that the people in the background were going, no.
Have you man seen the video of the couple that are letting trying to put a squirrel back up a tree? They've obviously helped the squirrel, who was injured, and then they're trying to put it up the tree, and then before you know it, a cat just comes and takes it away. No.
Why folks in the evolution of life?
But
just be.
Okay, what was I saying about that?
An American man has been killed by an endangered tribe in Indians Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Butchered that, sorry. So fishermen who took the man to North Sentinel Island say tribes people shot him with arrows and left his body on the beach. He's a 27-year-old Christian evangelist that wanted to go there to evangelize the natives of this island who are completely secluded from the rest of India.
Is that really what he wanted to do?
Yeah. He wanted to go to take the Bible to try and convert them.
That's what that's what
and Africa should.
This is why you're a Christian, because they did this. They just did it with a bit more.
One day, mate. One day.
But it's just the truth. Even it's
the Bible
just the
was
truth.
long before the white man came to bring it there.
Yeah, but the version that you're into now is the version that the white man brought there.
I am not part of any of that. That is
He's a-
the
he's a
Constantine
Satanist.
version of Christianity. And no, I am not.
Okay.
So I've said that before, and I'll say it again.
I don't know.
Pre-Constantine.
Okay.
I know you don't know what that is, but it's all good. Continue.
Sorry.
Shadow.
So yeah, what do you
Your
think?
God is not my God.
My God is the God of hellfire.
I'm kind of forgot.
So the man got shot down.
So the
there.
man went
got
to the
shot.
indigenous island.
But no, I just thought that he went there for something else. That's why I was asking.
he went there for that, and
for
it said,
tea,
He
for
went-
tobacco.
He was representing
No,
you
no,
and
but
your
no, but
people.
you get a lot of, you get a lot of these adventurers going to different islands.
he's also an adventurer, but he's a Christian adventurer.
okay.
That went to go
so
and-
he went to try to convert them into Christianity. That's,
Yeah.
okay.
Or to teach them.
I didn't know that.
and
So-
they shot him dead.
So here's the problem. The problem is
Pussy.
the island has certain protections against it.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was warned, didn't it?
I think well, it's no outsiders are allowed to go there.
you're not allowed.
Period. Yeah, and not anybody who carries outsiders there that have committed a crime. My man still push himself up there.
I am not an outsider.
I am a man of the world.
I am the man of the Lord.
The Indian government has given that place like special sanctions. Nobody can go there. That's their own little place. It's untouched by humanity outside of that place. And so they have no, seeing as we were talking about this a few weeks ago, they have no immunization to all the diseases that outside people have.
So they were protecting themselves.
That's the thing. They could go there and bring their tutus, chicken pox or whatever that the person has inside
And
them.
just
but it
wipe
doesn't-
them all out.
Yeah. So they're allowed to defend themselves for that reason as well.
I'm not going to say that I'm glad that the man is dead, but if you've been warned, number one,
It's serving bomber clout, right?
Well, this is the thing, innit? You know,
You don't look like one of us to me.
If we had done something similar like that, you know, when the white man came to our shores, then
Then you wouldn't be a Christian.
then maybe. Well, there you go.
Gaza.
But once again,
The thing about this though, yeah,
the word was there long before the white man
the
came.
thing about this
Don't
whole
believe the white
situation
man.
is I was reading.
Because that's what they tell you, innit? That we bought the Bible.
I was-
and you believe it. But anyway,
Okay, I don't think that's what we believe.
it's okay. Go on.
I think the whippings and whatever. Was what we believe. But anyway, fine.
Now do you believe?
But, the thing about this particular people that I was reading about them that made me maybe intrigued about them is that they forgot how to make fire.
Sure what difference that makes, but
They forgot how to make fire. So what they do is they constantly keep a fire burning. Because
These people.
yeah, because they forgot how to make it. That's what they say. They forgot how to make fire, so they constantly keep a fire burning. And when the tsunami happened, they said that all of them climbed the trees as high as trees as possible to not be hit by the tsunami. And they carried the fire with them. So I don't even know what that means. There must be one bread that's holding a torch.
I'll be honest with you. I think that's bullshit.
I don't know.
I think it's good to say that because now we can say, oh look, these people are uncivilized.
No,
There's
but
nothing to go
apparently,
there for.
what they did as well is the Indian government, when the tsunami happened, to check on them, they put a helicopter on the roof. The roof, helicopter to fly around the island, and they tried to shoot down the helicopter as well.
Yeah.
Because there was somebody
These
coming-
same people.
These same people. So when they saw that they tried to attack them, they went back saying, "Okay, they're okay," because they're trying to attack us as normal.
These people are built for war.
They will. Listen,
they're
they,
Spartans.
apparently they came from Africa, and they migrated over to whatever part of Asia, and the rest of the Africans that migrated to Asia went other places, but they just stayed there. So they're Africans. So the last thing they did see was the white man come and cause them grief. So that's why they said, "Fuck off." Why don't you just?
Why not?
Why don't you just go? Just go.
You go.
Africans, bruv.
You go.
No, I'm.
What, Africans don't have an Indian accent.
That they were the idiots.
So for me, I was like,
Before the word came to them, yeah?
one, I was happy that
God
there is
bless
actually
Bloody
places,
fuck.
there's places on the earth and cultures that have been untouched. I like that.
There's a few though. There's not. That's not
I
the only
know,
ones.
but when you hear about them, it makes me feel good because it means that they haven't become extinct. You know, like that.
You feel good.
It makes me feel good on the inside.
Feel good.
So yeah, they haven't become extinct, and I like the idea that the modernized world that we live in, that we take for granted, isn't prevalent everywhere. There are people that have shunned it quite deliberately, and they're quite happily living their lives, and I like that. I like that.
I guarantee you, there's a Nigerian and a Chinese there somewhere
And one Jew. There's a Jew there as well.
holding the money.
And a McDonald's.
It's the thing is, you don't know what you're missing if you don't have it.
Yes, that is the truth.
So they're happy in their own little world.
They're okay without Wi-Fi, man.
Well, they must know that something's out there because they see helicopters and planes or whatever.
But you don't. It's like you've never experienced it. You don't need it.
They had these kind of tribes. They've got these tribes in Africa. They got them in Brazil,
South London.
in South London as well, in Peckham.
There's nothing untouched in Peckham.
It's true.
Everything's been touched.
But like the Simple Simon said, the mere fact that there are untouched tribes, it kind of gives you hope. That
think?
I don't know, man. It just makes you think that maybe there's a little speck of light in the background that gives you hope that society can be saved.
You know what?
Somehow.
Are those tribes people like I said,
they can teach us a few things.
like I said, they don't know what they don't have and they're happy in their own realm. Are they like the 15-year-old boy that says he will never go down on a woman?
Flip it, Nick.
That is so random.
That is.
If you're Jamaican, you don't have to be 15. You could be 35. Them I still claim it. Give me a two lyric.
Okay, sorry.
Now, one lyric.
Okay, sorry.
Say
17, 18-year-old, whatever
18.
then. Sorry, above the limit. Sorry. I have to worry about these things. Yeah, because once you do it and you see and that woman's leg tenses up and has a spasm, now you're on the promised land.
It's saying the same girl as
Sizzler
well.
saying that you've been doing it from time.
Sorry?
Sizzler says, but still saying it now.
Oh, that you wouldn't do it.
Real bad man never do it.
Can you imagine?
Face and not toilet seat. No.
What's the other one that he does? No, way. My man does up pussy.
No.
No way. No.
Simple.
Can you imagine if you come into your house and no, but can you imagine that you're having, you meet a woman, you take her out for dinner, you romance her, you get to the moment, you're having sexual intercourse with the woman, and then she just says, "Is that Capleton, isn't it?"
No,
That's still Sizzler, though.
It's Sizzler, yeah.
And he goes, "Mr. Sizzler, she starts trying to put his head down there. She's like, wait, I do." But Mr. Sizzler, I would just like, a little bit of fellatio. And then he just jump on and says, no. Man, just not singing at you. No. I would scream. If I was here, I'd just run out the house. But what? He's like, why is he so aggressive about it?
I don't know, bruv.
Some people.
What is it about their music that they have to tell you that they don't like gay people, and they have to tell you they're not going to do anything down there with involving their tongue or your backside?
Underneath.
You have to remember that in a funny kind of way, the culture is very Christian orientated. So all of those doctrines come from the field of Christianity that has been exposed in Jamaica.
Again, depending on which Bible you're reading from.
But that's what I'm saying. In Jamaica, that's the Christianity. Like, these things are wrong.
Is there a Bible of Licky Licky or something? I don't know about it.
But the thing that made me laugh is that, yes, I agree. It's very Christian in their ways of dealing with things. But the rest of the song is chatting about, and I serve her well. So he's talking about banging the girl like throughout the whole of the song. But he's refusing that one thing. In us up, pussy.
That's like DJ Khaled, did it?
Simple Simon.
Khaled is chatting shit.
As our resident
Jamaican.
Caribbean,
I'm at the Caribbean correspondent.
Half Carib.
yeah.
And now a word from our Caribbean correspondent.
This is what I was going to say before. I came from another podcast. I hold myself, and I was on the Word to Your Mother podcast. So I've come from there. Big up Jukebox with their fire alarm that went off right in the middle of the podcast.
Stop stepping out on us.
So that will
He's
be
done that a couple times. Don't tell man.
that will be released. I forgot. That will be released like today or tomorrow, whenever as it comes out. But
You're a podcast whore, man.
I'm nowhere near like certain people, certain whores. But we were talking about culturally. So the podcast is about children and parenthood. All right. So me just wanted to talk about my kids all the time. I was happy to jump on there and talk about stuff, but it branched out. And one of the things we were talking about was the difference between African style of parenting and Caribbean style of parenting.
Yeah.
And both of them are half Jamaican, and they have two other Caribbean halves. Sorry, I can't remember what they are, but they're both half Jamaican, and so they both their fathers are Jamaican. So they spoke on that, and they kind of. Let's put it this way, without going too deep into it, listen to it yourself. I wanted to defend Jamaica, and I couldn't because I don't know enough about this specific subject. So I was like, I'm going to have to speak to Simple Simon. Yeah. And so I'm going to ask you now. So what they said was basically their parents didn't pass on any culture to them. There was no culture passed down. So they said outside of food and music, There was no culture. So I brought up our language, food, music, clothes, certain traditions, and all this and that. But when they said it, because they didn't say it in the nicest way, I wanted to defend it. I said, no, there must be stuff. And they said, no. And then because I don't know anymore, I couldn't add to it. I couldn't defend it.
Spoke about this in a barbershop just this week. But anyway.
Okay, so can people that defend it? Defend it here for me.
So here's the thing, right? So with Jamaican culture and even the Jamaican population, there is a large contingent that are from town, what you would call the metropole, and as a result of that, they have very westernized points of view and stuff like that. Then there's the other set that are more rural, from the countryside and stuff, and then you can have people that are like from the Maroon Town, for example, which is the old school anti-slavery rebellious blacks that weren't having it. They passed down culture.
None of the
Maroons, yeah. You got people that live in a kampong town that is basically, they speak Akan, which is
It's Ghana. Yeah, because that's a Ghanaian thing you just said. I was just about to say
that's where none of the Maroons is from.
around that area. So you have them and they pass the culture on. They speak one of the Ghanaian.
Well, what is not Ghanaian culture that they're passing down in its own way of form, but it's now, I won't say use the word bastardized, but changed.
Yes, you're right in that sense, but what I'm saying is that they've continued that. The point I'm making here is with modernization, the people that are in town have less of a connection to their roots, if that makes sense.
Okay, that makes sense.
So yeah, and I think that doesn't just lie with just in Jamaica either. I think that's a lot of countries, right down to us.
Yes, but what I'm explaining is the reason why somebody may say that they don't have like a cultural thing in a Jamaican household. I would say that there are things that are, how do I put it? Maybe in an African household, the origin of your culture is known and is taught to you. In a Jamaican household, the origin of your culture isn't known necessarily, and you learn practices rather than understanding that this is part of culture. So for example, Saturday soup, cleaning the house on a certain day of the week, only eating fish on Fridays. These are all things that are passed down to you in, how do I put it, in practice, but there isn't a massive dialect around it to say, yeah, you know, this is why we do this on Friday, this is why we do this on Saturday. But most Caribbean people will be able to have that shared experience. You talk about Saturday soup and a whole bunch of Caribbean people will be like, yeah. Now,
Do you know what Saturday soup is?
That's when you take the stuff from Monday to Friday, you mix it together, and you make a soup on Saturday.
Is it?
It's probably where it come from.
no. Saturday soup is
It's hard
food
Yeah,
and provisions and all them thing there.
How they gonna bring that to me?
But they'll make it on Saturday. Friday, typically they don't eat meat.
Fish.
So like that, it's for Fish Friday, and that's all over the Caribbean. That's Jamaica, St. Lucia, Barbados, all of them. So you have that, and these are things that are staples and practices that I know of, but nobody in the family has ever said this is why we do it.
It's mad because I think a lot of girls that I know that are half, in fact, there's boys and girls, but it's girls I know most of the time I spoke to, that's half Jamaican, half something else. The other half always kind of looks down on the Jamaican side still. And it's usually because the dad's Jamaican as well, and the other parents from the other half. And they as a culture, look down on Jamaicans. Same with that, a lot of the African countries look down on Nigeria. Same thing for Jamaica. So people just look at it as because it's the hub in it where people no one understand, they look down on it.
So the thing is that the biggest misconception is about probably Jamaicans' attitude towards education. Yeah,
because we spoke on that.
So the misconception is that Jamaicans don't care about education to the same level compared to our African counterparts or African brothers or whatever you want to call it. The problem is,
1 second, hold it. You're gonna have to listen to this Word to Your Mother podcast because we speak specifically on that, and I'm sure it's gonna be the exact opposite of what you're gonna say.
The problem is, people see the popular culture of Jamaica and get caught up in that. So they see dancehall, they see all the rest of it, and they think that there's no underlying. I can tell you now from my own family that there are members of my family that had a hard time because it was education. They've gone to the best university in Jamaica. They're not allowed to speak to anybody who hasn't got a certain level of education. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So I find it interesting when people say, "Oh yeah, you don't care about whatever," and that's only because of the experience that they've had with Jamaican people that are in the UK.
Yes,
I know a couple. I know a couple of my friends that were born and brought up in Jamaica and came here when they were about 13, 14.
Yeah,
and they were from the rural area.
Yeah,
and they always speak about how far advanced they were.
Yes.
When they came here, they didn't realize how smart they were compared to the rest of the British children that they were with.
And this is a big thing.
I can understand the overall aspect of Africans' approach to education, but I'm not sure that I co-sign the idea that the Jamaicans over there may not be as educated. I'm not sure if that is the approach that they were saying, but maybe the attitude to education overall may be more fundamental to African parents, but they're just as smart.
I think that with regards to, because even before you had the Filipinos and then the Africans and such nurses here, a lot of them used to be Caribbean.
Yeah.
And so obviously they have to be educated to a certain level to do that role.
All of things. That whole Windrush, most of them was educated people.
That's the whole reason. That's why they brought them in the first place.
Yeah.
So it's not a case that they're not educated in that country. It's a case that what is promoted is not education. What is promoted is people flinging themselves from the speaker onto the pum pum, and that is what they want to show around the world. What they want to show around the world is dancehall. What they want to show around the world.
You're talking about outside.
Outside
but these
influences.
people,
But this is the thing. But this is the thing. Even if they're promoted outside, if that's what people are looking for you for, and that's what your people are making money for, then you're gonna go for what's making you money, and it's not necessarily gonna be education. If you're making money because you're a dancehall artist and that's your main export, as well as tourism and whatever, then you're gonna try and go into those particular things because that's what you see making you money. If man that's going to school ends up still coming out of school with a degree and it still ends up being, I don't know, working in the hotels, because I guarantee a lot of the people that's working in hotels and all the tourist industries are very, very educated people, but they can't really find the necessary getting the jobs with a good salary that they'll be able to work for their particular fields over there. Then they're gonna go and do whatever thing they're gonna get their money in it. It's just the way it goes everywhere.
Ultimately, the society in Jamaica is very split. So the less economically endowed people are the people that are typically known to be into dancehall. Yeah. So the idea that if you're into dancehall or what have you in Jamaica, somebody will already make a calculation about your social standing.
You got a very it's like an elitist culture still in Jamaica,
yes,
isn't it?
Very
classism.
Very much.
Like I will tell you a story about my brother-in-law. He's told us about his one of the pastors that was in Jamaica when he was in Jamaica. Apparently he fired his maid because she was playing reggae music.
Yeah.
He fired her,
Yeah.
Not because she did anything wrong. Not because she stole money. Because she played reggae music in his house as the pastor. She fired him.
Let me give you a big irony, yeah? So the world, as far as they're concerned, Jamaica, first thing that comes to your mind is Bob Marley. Second thing that comes to your mind is ganja weed, yeah? In Jamaica itself, those things were all very much taboo for a long time. Rastafarians were persecuted. They were beaten by police in particular. Like, it was, you were, as far as the societal breakdown went, I think Rastafarians were the last. So you had poor people and then Rastafarians. I was saying to you,
Rastafarians used to live in the hills as well.
And Rastafarians went up to live in the hills because of this. Like, you couldn't do anything around town. Oh, we don't want you around here. You can't get any work. We're not employing you.
F y'all.
Yeah.
I'm going to England.
So,
mate.
Oh, get out of here. Shoo.
So come here, mate.
So you've got a fractured society like that. So the fact that dancehall is exported the way it's exported and the way that it's so prevalent and prominent around the world is a testament to a socially and economically deprived sector of society managing to broadcast themselves around the world.
What I will say is, just to touch on the culture aspect a little bit more, is obviously African people have a lot of cultural practices that I know that some of my Jamaican friends are envious of. And I would ask the question, do you think that is down to the fact that we all have our own dialect and they don't?
They do, though. Patois is an exclusive language. It's actually recognized by the government. Like, it's an exclusive language.
Can you go and learn the Patois dialect?
Yes.
Okay. But do you think that they have the Patois dialect, which is almost like a broken English thing?
It's
That's exactly what it is.
You get me? So
a degree, yeah.
Mixed with French, Creole, and all of that stuff.
Not so much in Jamaica, but go on, yeah.
But don't you think that we have our conch, languages, which has a rich history, have a impact on how much of a culture that we have compared to maybe Jamaica?
Yeah, but then you have to understand,
and some of the other Caribbean islands.
I hear what you're saying, but you got to take into account what Jamaica is.
Yeah.
So it's a construct effectively of displaced peoples. So it's not just the Ghanaian people that were there. There's Igbo people there as well. But when you don't have the link back home for a long time, and you have to now create your own identity,
it's America.
Effectively, yeah.
But this is the thing, because in Brazil, you have your people that were taken over there from Africa, because, like you said, Jamaica and the Caribbeans were taken from Africa. The black people weren't there before, or maybe there were very few. So the majority of them came from Africa and they were put there. And like you said, ties were severed. They had to either, make their own traditions, or some of the ones that were there before got changed and mutated or whatever. But the ones in Brazil, they stick. It's like if you go to those tribes that came from Africa to Brazil around the same time, they're still the same thing. They still
some of them, but there's still how many other black Brazilians that probably have that. But supposed to have that link and don't understand it.
Yeah, but the culture's like there. It's not like it's. Whereas I don't know what it's.
The culture's in one area in Salvador. So there's a concentration of the culture over there.
But I mean, it's there.
Yeah,
that's why I was trying to.
But you also,
like I said, when I was at this thing, I was trying to argue there must be somewhere like that in these islands where it's not. It ain't got nowhere. There
is. If you go to like the places I mentioned, like Kampong Town and down in Jamaica,
that they speak exclusively
when you say
like
these
a
islands,
Ghanaian dialect.
Yes,
Caribbean islands.
Well, Haiti.
To the point where
they speak Creole.
No, but Haiti has a rich history of
the spirituality thing. So back to the point that you're making now, with regards to Jamaica, that place does exist there, and it's there's a tribe
there's an area in Jamaica where they speak an exclusive African dialect.
They are speaking and even they were watching a documentary about it the other day. They took one of the people from there. Brought one of the people from Ghana to there, or them to Ghana. And the man conversed with him, and he was like, this guy's never left Jamaica before. And he's conversing with him in his native tongue in terms that are the old
school.
So he knows that he knows the language.
Of talking.
Yeah, he knows that he knows. You've seen the video, yeah? He knows that he knows the language.
No, it's Jamaica though.
So this is why when I'm in Ghana, we see Jamaicans.
You will see Jamaicans in Ghana all the time, because that link
is their promised land.
That link has been kept. Igbo people are not so.
Is that down to Rollins? Was it Rollins that's told them come home?
Whoever there
Jerry
was
Rollins.
There was a there was a period.
Where was
in
Marcus
Ghana.
Garvey going?
Marcus Garvey was talking Africa in general.
Okay, because I thought he was more linked to Ghana. Maybe because he had that Black Star.
The Black Star line and thing. But he was just Africa in general. So that link is still there. It's just not as. The numbers are not as high, and it's not as prominent. It's like all other things in
you know what?
Culture.
Yeah, because we've spoke about Jamaica on this podcast, and I don't know what they said on the podcast that you're saying there, but there's two very, very small places that you need to show a lot of respect to for what they've managed to do and achieve. One of them is Britain. As much as you hate what they've done for such a small little place, the amount of places they took over the world is madness.
All right.
Madness. And Jamaica is the biggest popular culture influencer ever.
Yep.
And it's just a small island. That small island, popular culture, it is massive.
3-point-something million.
And people don't necessarily
half of London
show as much respect to that, because that country there than it should do. It has influenced almost every aspect of black music anyway. In one shape or form.
Yeah. Over history.
Sound systems.
Yeah.
Bare things, and people need to. In London, there was at one point the London language was just bits of patois that we was just throwing in there every so often. It was massive.
That again, we were talking in a bar.
Yeah, and I don't think that I don't think people take the time to show as much respect as they should do for what they've achieved as such a small nation.
So I'm going to go as far as to say the culture of Jamaica in particular is very, very complicated. It's complicated in the sense that we don't have many in the way of griots that are custodians of the culture who are able to lay it out in front of you and say,
This poem.
Can you define what a griot is, please?
This poem.
yeah, well,
It's a speaker, innit? It's a great orator, yeah.
yeah.
Someone who's a good narrator, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, narrators, you're reading something, but
Orator, yeah.
yeah. So it's just the talker,
Okay.
like an Obama.
All right.
So
Could be.
Stop flinging yourself off stereos.
So we don't have too many of those to actually present the culture in a way to say we are Jamaican. This is what it is to be Jamaican. But Jamaican people understand the practices in reference because they see it.
I would put what's his name? Akala.
Yeah.
I'd put him as a.
He's a fantastic speaker.
Muta Baruka is another one. The same one that you said this poem. He's another one.
Listen to the song "This Poem" or the poem "This Poem." You can go Def Comedy Jam, or is it Def Poetry Jam?
Yeah.
And put in this poem, but there's a house version that's even better because it's beautiful. It's got a house. Just two things then. One, this thing about Ghana. Just keep in mind, Ghana has an open policy for anyone that has that's in the diaspora that has no links to Africa. They have this policy that we will accept you as one of us. You can get a Ghanaian passport, so you African Americans.
There's a high requirement, though. There's a high requirement.
There isn't. That's the whole thing. Isn't it?
Go on.
So they I don't know what it's called, but they have this policy where you can come to us, basically say we want to be Ghanaian. We have no link. So it's basically, I think it's aimed more or less towards African Americans, and then you can take that and be Ghanaian.
And I think
get a Ghanaian passport and everything.
I think that came from I believe it was Jerry Rollins when he came into power.
I don't think it's that long ago.
I can't remember, but all I'm saying, no, it might have been because who else done it? Someone else did it. Haile Selassie did it with Ethiopia. He said that if you're an African, you can come home. You understand? And he set out land to do it. And that's why you'll find that the Rastafarian movement has been so prominent in areas of Ethiopia. They've gone to Kenya. Because these governments have said the same thing. If you are children of Africa, you can come back to Africa. So there's a massive Rastafarian community in Ethiopia, a massive one in Ghana, massive one in Kenya. South Africa's got a massive Rastafarian. It's like I can go almost anywhere in Africa and there's a Rastafarian community that will embrace me just because.
And they're all thieves in every African film. But
which is wrong, isn't it?
That's how they do it. But question on Haile Selassie while we're just here quickly.
Yeah.
Because there's talk about the fact that he didn't actually like Jamaicans.
I don't know. I don't know whether that's true or not.
They said that he didn't like them. When he went to Jamaica, he wanted to get back on the plane immediately. A bit like when you get to Croydon and them sides there.
Mr. Wolf.
But yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if this notion is true. It could be true. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it's an interesting notion that these people would worship this man, and he's saying, I don't feel these people. Especially, but it could be true though, if you're saying that they looked at as the bottom of society or somewhere else.
Yeah, the Rastafarians were for a long time.
All right. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Word Team Other podcast. I just want to bring them up because I just want to bring them up.
Oh.
Just before we move on, I mentioned something that you say, Wahala, and I just want you to explain yourself because I didn't do it justice.
Slag.
Dad's being more important to a daughter than the mum. Could you just explain why? And then we just move on. Yeah, I just want him to explain because
in season 1,
I couldn't even explain.
I didn't get in season 2, but go on.
Why do I say it? Because I think that for one, I say it's only up to a certain age, and I'm not necessarily saying that the most important. I still think the mum is the person that does the day-to-day situation. I think to the child, they're looked at as more important because they don't. People don't respect something that is constant, and your mum's always constant. She's the one that's always feeding you. She's the one that's always doing that. She's the one that's always there, and you take them for granted. You take them for granted. But your dad, he comes in the house and he's like Superman. Like he comes in from work most of the time. If we're going by one of those job situations where the dad's working often and maybe he doesn't see the child as often.
A
as
responsible
maybe
dad as well.
And he comes in and he behaves like Superman. And every son wants to be like their dad because their dad's meant to be the strongest. And every daughter needs to have a feeling like they can be protected by someone. And as though they feel protected by their mother, they also need to feel more protected probably by their father because society makes it so. So it's not necessarily just a case of, you know, a biological thing, which I still think is part of it. Society also shows you that the man is the more, you know, is the protector. And if you've got a father that's not there, not protecting you, when society showed you that's who's you be protected, you're automatically made vulnerable. So that's why I said that the father needs to be it has to have, you know, some form of part or role in your life as a child, because they have to be seen as to be protecting their children. It's just natural.
My daddy breaks rocks.
It just is what it is, man. I said it a bit better in the other podcast, but that's kind of what it is.
Yeah, if we knew the episode number, we could just go to that episode, but we don't know the episode. So listen to all of them.
As a father.
All 175 episodes.
There's more than that even still.
There's not.
175.
I think there's more.
What more? We had 75 season 1 and 100 season 2.
Well, we've had like bonus episodes and blah, blah, blah. There's
Okay,
more.
I'm sorry.
There's more.
I'm sorry. We have episodes that weren't numbered, which, are there. Okay, cool. Let's see. What we're going to talk about. Taylor Swift and her record deal.
I know nothing about this, so can you explain, please?
Taylor Swift has been in a record contract since she was 14. And I don't know what age she is now, but she's finally out of that deal and she was negotiating a new deal. So what she's done is that a couple of the record labels, the major distributors have shares in Spotify, and they're looking to sell their shares. And what they've said is they're going to pass on some of that money to their artists. But what they'll do is they'll recoup funds that are owed to them before they pass on the money. So
She's 28.
okay, so what, 14 years. Yeah. Because they did it based on per album minute. So if it's been usually 5 album deal, so maybe it's 5 albums she's done in those years. But anyways, what usually happens is, as an artist, you go to a label, they say, yeah, we can do stuff with you, and then they give you an advance, and the advance, let's say, is 100K, which is a decent advance. And then basically you work, you pay your promoter, you pay for this, you pay for that, clothing, promotion, this and that, and then you pay for all of that with 100 grand. You get, you know, certain things, and your company makes the money back. They take money from your shows, they take money from this, they take money from that, and that's how they make their money. What they're saying is that once we sell our shares in Spotify, which a lot of them have done or are going to do, we will give you, I don't know, 70,000, but really you owe us 70,000, so you get nothing. But then at least it kind of wipes the slate clean. What Taylor, what's her name again? Taylor Swift has done is that she's negotiated that you just give them the money. Like whatever they owe is separate to that. And this is for all artists on that label. Not just her, all artists on that label. That's what she's done. And then she gets to keep her masters, which is, it doesn't seem like a big deal necessarily in our community when we hear about Jay-Z doing it, but it's most 99% of people don't actually own their masters. So she's owning her masters as well. So what do you think about this thing where, because she had this thing with Spotify before where she said, because you ain't giving us enough money, she came on Spotify for 4 years. She's only gone back on it last year when Apple Music were going to do their, when they first started, and they were going to do their free trial to everybody for 3 months, whatever it was. They said they weren't going to pay the artists. And she said, okay then. She sent an open letter to Apple saying, you bastard you. And then within 24 hours, they said, sorry, Taylor, you're right. We're going to pay our artists. And then now she's negotiated this deal for everybody on the label, not her label, the label that she signed to. Everybody on that label, she's negotiated this deal for. What do you think about her boss power moves that she's doing and flexing for other artists?
I think it dips it forever. That's what I think. But
you know what? I was quite impressed with it when I heard it.
I'm also impressed with it, and I think it's again, a lot of people need to do that type of thing. They need to start making movements. You know, Joe Biden's always been talking. Oh no, not Joe Biden. Sorry, Nori's always talking about this union for artists, and they should have a union, and you know, hip hop should have a union where you go and you have like strikes and stuff like that to try and make people do these types of things. And I think that these are the type of people that have got that type of level where they can make this type of change. Hip hop's made it a different way where they just own their own businesses and then do things their own way. But these guys don't have that type of, well, they do have that type of business savvy, but they do it in different ways, more undercover.
Who's these people?
Like pop artists rather than hip hop artists.
Okay.
So they might have businesses here and there. One of them might even know Spotify, you won't even know. But I think this is a major move, man. A major move. It's something that you would expect someone like Beyonce to do.
It's true, innit?
I would expect Beyonce to do this. But Beyonce did her thing with the Tidal thing when they all said, well, we're going to Tidal and we're going to try and make Tidal our own thing because they pay the artists more than anyone else. So that was her way of doing things, I suppose. But
the thing about this Taylor Swift woman, yeah, like, because we don't listen to pop, I'm guessing we don't realize how big she is. Because I get the impression that she's massive.
Yeah, she's massive. Only a
massive.
Only a massive artist can command this kind of thing in it. Most people can't go to the record label and say this. They'll tell you to get on your bike, mate.
Taylor Swift is probably like top 5 selling artists in the world.
Top 1 or 2 even.
Top 1, yeah. Okay.
I get the impression that I probably heard a Taylor Swift song and not known as a Taylor Swift song, right?
Maybe not, because I don't know any Taylor Swift songs I've heard.
Kendrick Lamar's on one of her songs.
I don't know that song.
I don't know. I don't listen to Taylor Swift. I know one of her old songs. I listened to the one where there was controversy because in the music video they were booty shaking and wearing stereotypical black clothes, and so it was all uproar. Oh, she's appropriating black culture, blah blah blah. So I think I heard that one.
The only thing I knew about Taylor Swift was that Kanye got on the stage to interrupt her, and that just made me feel like he didn't respect her.
But that helped her. That's that's a catalyst for her blowing up as well, because it opened her to another market.
Of course, I hear you.
That's why he said that thing about her in the song.
What did he say?
Forgot now.
Something basically that he made Taylor Swift kind of thing. And
fair.
then she clapped back at him as well. Taylor will clap back, you know.
Yeah, this is weird. Like, she just seems a bit off kilter to me.
What?
Sorry, I don't know. Like, she just seems like that weird to me. What I've seen of her, she moves weird. She's just weird for me. Have you seen? I saw one video of her dancing to some song, and I was like, "What part of the song are you dancing to?" Because
she has no rhythm.
She's a white girl, isn't it?
Mad.
She has to put her bag down on the floor and dance around it. That's what they would do.
But okay, joking. So, let me touch on something else. You said something about hip hop not having the ability to do this type of thing.
No, that's not what I said.
You saying hip hop artists with the union and all that.
I said
kind
they
of
should have a union to do these types of things.
Yes.
And I said they tend to do things differently. I said like they might just go and do like Jay-Z's done, have his own thing. So instead of doing it through the label that they're with now, they might go and do their own independent thing or do. They do it in a different way.
Have you seen a new controversy with Fortnite, the game,
And the dancer.
and the dancing in the game?
Yeah, because what's his name? The guy that did the
2 milli.
Yeah, the one that did the Millie Rockers sued them, innit?
Well, he's in the process of possibly doing it, but they've basically got this in-app purchase thing, yeah, or in-game purchase where you can buy the dance moves. But all the dance moves, or most of them, are hip hop dance moves. So you've got Snoop
Talking about game, by the way.
Yeah, Fortnite, Blizzard, what they call software house. You got Snoop's
Drop it like it's hot.
Drop It Like It's Hot dance. You got 2 Milli's Millie Rock. You got that one where they kick
The shooter.
yeah, as well. The L, whatever that is. Yeah, so they've got and the dabs as well as all the rest of it. So Fortnite has made like 2 billion, they've made $1 billion. And they've on this current series with Series 5 of Fortnite, and these dancers are in there, and now the hip hop community, especially the dancers, are saying, well, how do we not get our cut out of this mug?
Antoine Griezmann.
But the thing about the Millie Rock is
the Fortnite dance moves after he scores.
the thing about the Millie Rock is that
But they're not Fortnite dance moves, that's the point.
Ah.
Yeah.
the Millie Rock is kind of at least named after the guy, so he can kind of say, well, it's my thing in it.
Yeah.
Can you copyright a dance move?
Well, they're saying they can't. They're saying that you can copyright choreography, but you can't copyright individual moves because the individual moves are the component for the choreography.
That's interesting.
So if they had a whole choreographed session that they had copied, then yes, there's a possible argument.
Because you can copyright like words, and very small sentences.
It's like the Michael Jackson Thriller dance, isn't it? That is his thing, innit? You get me? So why can't dance moves be choreographed? People know when someone's doing that dance move, they know.
But the Thriller dance is a whole choreograph, though. It's not just a one. They're saying that the Millie Rock is one move.
What, can you sue somebody for that?
He can't sue somebody for the one move.
I'm talking about the
Thriller.
The Thriller dance. He'd be more likely to be able to do it because it's a whole choreography. If you copied that whole choreography and made money off of it, the estate there's more of an argument for it. What they're saying is
maybe just the moonwalk by itself.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Okay,
Which is not his anyway.
It's not his.
It's Turbo.
Shalimar.
It's not even Shalimar.
It's Turbo.
Oh, you're talking about that old. You see one. Was it like a jazz something?
Jazz singer, yeah.
You done it on Top of the Pops as well.
The jazz singer, doubt it.
Anyway,
the moonwalk goes back way before Michael Jackson.
It goes back to Africa.
1930 something.
It goes back to Africa.
Yeah, it goes back to Africa.
Wait, the whole
It's oldest.
the whole original thing of the moonwalk was a child being chased by their mother to give them beats, and they ran backwards. That is the moonwalk.
welcome to the podcast, the actor.
Shade, bruv.
Proper shit.
Okay.
Where you been, yo?
No, yeah.
That actor.
Come late.
Eating.
Don't say no.
What do you think about Blac Chyna and Whitenicious?
Whitenicious.
Whitenicious.
China, why?
So for those of you that don't know, the lovely Blac Chyna has taken away her blackness because she has created a whitening cream
It's not her.
and taken it. Huh?
It's not her that created it.
Who created it?
Another company, another person.
But she's promoting
Yeah,
it.
she's come to promote you.
So it's
Go on.
semantics, yeah?
No, but she didn't create it.
It's semantics, but it is semantics.
A Cameroonian pop
But it's
star
semantics.
created the.
It's not semantics.
It's semantics, bruv. She's taking it to Africa and trying to promote it.
No,
Nigeria
she
specifically.
didn't. That's what I'm trying to say. It's all right. Make us look
Again,
stupid.
semantics.
Wow. Calm down, bruv. That's not nice. All right.
Exactly, it's fucking semantics, bruv.
No,
you want to
but-
never start another argument again
I'm
and then
trying- I'm
have
trying-
people
I'm-
say, guys, don't argue. It's semantics.
I'm trying to make sure he's saying the right
It's
thing.
semantics.
Doesn't matter though.
It does matter.
No, it's,
that is a big part of the whole
no,
thing.
bruv, it doesn't matter because it's semantics.
No,
If people want to know,
It's a big thing.
people can go and look and say, "Oh, right, it's this, and
you
this."
cannot say-
We're doing a
No,
general, we're
no.
generalizing the whole situation.
Somebody
Everything else is
somebody going to
semantics.
promote something and somebody actually creating the
I
product.
won't mute the mic this time.
Two completely different things. That's like saying,
Which is why I said semantics.
Place.
You're going around the houses of something.
Just say, you know what, I got
Okay.
it wrong. That's what you need to say, you know. I know what I got it wrong.
And I said semantics.
It's not
Okay, I think
semantics.
maybe
It's semantics.
we can move on.
Okay, you keep having.
I think next time, let him finish, and then you can.
Blac Chyna's gone to promote a whitening cream in Nigeria, aka which is part of Africa. It's not in Africa.
It's in Africa.
Thank you very fucking much. Semantics.
That's not what I was arguing. That's what he was arguing.
Again, I'm saying semantics. Africa, whether she created it or she's promoting it, semantics. This woman is doing this thing in this country. How's that?
This thing.
I'm quite delicate.
Is she doing this thing?
She's
or
doing this thing.
Or this thing?
She's doing this thing. DIS, not TH.
Not this poem,
man.
this thing.
Because you know this thing can mean
This thing,
anything
not this
and
thing.
everything.
You don't know about this thing. She's not doing this thing.
I am quite delicate when people say Africa when really they do mean one country in Africa and they just say, yeah, and in Africa they do this.
And
you're
in
thinking,
Europe, they do this.
Yeah. Like, no, Africa, big place. Where are you talking about? Bit different from one side to the other side.
If someone says Africa and it's one part of Africa, say, which part of Africa are they doing it in? They could say that. To generalize
If
it.
I can have a
to make it
conversation
more
with them.
specific. Yeah, if you can have a conversation with them.
If they're just on a podcast I'm listening to and I can't actually ask them, then I would have.
But they can always look and reference it. Oh, someone's did this and this. Let me look it up and see exactly where.
You're wrong and strong. You know that?
How much?
Which is a sign of weakness.
It's nothing to do with being a sign of weakness.
Oh, that's right.
If you look at it in any other context, if someone said this in the news and they research the news and say, "Oh right, it's there where they did
Who
this."
researches the news? They go on tweets and then they live off that until somebody says, you know what, you're wrong, you know, that was just manufactured. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, is tweeting not a form of news now?
No.
I'm going to make
Touché.
good sex to my wife tonight.
When you say good sex, does that include fellatio?
Do you know why recently
Semantic.
on WhatsApp it says forward when you forward it, whereas before it didn't used to?
No.
Because in India there was a problem of people spreading fake news where they would say
I see that.
such and
It was on
such
BBC.
person is in this community and they are a child molester, and it would just spread like wildfire, and then they'll go and kill this person, and they'd be like no, they were just innocent for some reason, somebody just made up this story. So they said we're going to add this forward thing as a precaution to stop people just spreading this stuff, so at least people know that this wasn't something that's not necessarily it's like whatever anyways. So that, I mean, this is that kind of thing. It rolls into that field. It can be kind of dangerous just to spread things out there if we're not informed properly or if we're not given the correct information. So in this instance, yes, it's not the biggest deal in the world. It's a minor. It's not that important. Yeah, really, whether which part of Africa she's in or if she created the cream or not. But seeing as we do like to, be real news, not fake news. If we are being corrected, let's allow the correction so that we give out the real information. Is that fair enough?
That's fair enough, but I haven't said anything fake.
It is my soul.
I'll let you finish. I'll let you finish the thing.
He's finished, man.
Semantics anyway.
No, they
Carry on.
broke into an argument halfway through.
No, just continue.
It's semantics. You finish the thing, man, because currently I can't say anything.
Not by me. It was you two.
The victim is down.
I'm not victim blaming. I'm not asking for victim
Right.
shaming. I'm just saying I can't say anything.
Denicia
So, carry on.
is a the founder of Whitenicious.
100, baby.
All right. So she's a Cameroonian, and so this Whitenicious cream, which we have spoken about before, was founded in 2014. Now she's reached out to American socialite Blac Chyna to come and promote her product in Nigeria. So she's been in Nigeria. She's already got into a fight with somebody who got a bit too touchy-feely with her. Apparently some dude that tried to hug her and they got into a fight. I don't know. That's all a separate thing. But what do you think about promoting this cream, or what do you think about this artist doing it, or whatever?
You're giving her that.
Sorry, I don't know. She's going to come out of it.
What is she?
She's a socialite.
I think
She's a
that,
stripper hoe, but keep going.
I think that
Stripper hoe.
Her and her mama.
She's a bitch.
for my God.
She's
Her
a
mama
bitch.
called Tokyo.
She's a
Tokyo
bitch.
and China.
I'm not. So I'm not actually. You're saying you're being. I'm actually telling you the truth.
No, but
I'm not
she's
sure it's about the whole bit.
She's a bitch and a
Yeah,
cunt.
you don't just bracket strippers or exotic dancers as hoes. That's disgusting.
No. Let's
Doesn't matter if she's got pictures or videos of her all over the gaff.
Yes.
Sucking on
you
things.
can't just brand her a bitch and a cunt. No, you can't do that.
Who said that?
I did.
Oh, wow.
That's a bit deep, bruv.
She's taking and she's helping to promote skin lightening cream in my country. She is a bitch and a cunt. Fuck that. No sugar coating on this. I'm not co-signing that.
You know this cream is legal in the UK.
She's
as well,
a bitch
by
and a cunt.
Your whole chest is out, bro. Rah.
She's a bitch and a cunt.
I just came here to say really.
Fangs on the claws
I
are
hear
out.
that word though. Still,
I just came here to say really that
Hashtag Game of Thrones.
we have to acknowledge that the Cameroonians of Africa are the Jamaicans of Africa. Just wanted that to be known.
I thought you were going to expand on
well,
Black
most people say
China, man.
Nigerians are though. But
No,
I kind of agree with you on that
Cameroonians
situation.
are the
They
Jamaicans.
wear the same trousers. As well,
Yes, and the same shoe,
Yeah.
and they do wild stuff.
wild. But this thing, it's like this, isn't it? She's out to make her money. The Africans, sorry, the Cameroonians. No, because it's two different Africans, isn't it? It's two different Africans.
Different Africans.
Because the Caribbeans, the Cameroonians and the Nigerians working in tandem to do foolishness. One's promoting, one's obviously paying for them to do the promotion, and the other one's allowing them in the country to do such promotions. It's sad anyway. I'm sick of shadism. I'm sick of people feeling that they have to lighten their skin. I'm sick of going to artists' houses and looking them in the face and they look like Caesar in the hands and normal black person in the face. It's just mad.
Caesar in the hands. Caesar.
Yeah, because you know they got like black,
and then the
white,
knuckles.
very white bits.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. It's a sickness. It's an illness, actual illness, I think, and it's something that needs to be actually categorized because I think it's a mental illness.
It most certainly is.
Apparently, according to the World Health Organization, listen to this. What percentage of Nigerian women do you think apparently use lightening cream on a regular basis?
35.
77%. According to the World Health Organization.
Come on,
You're going to say World War Organization.
World
I wonder if
the
there's
World
a World
Health
Health
Organization.
Should be.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if I believe
It's
that.
high because what you have to take into account is you're thinking about bleaching cream as in the extreme one. They use creams that are for evening your tone or what have you, that maybe not as strong as the bleaching one. So they might take over a period of 5 years. You'll see them. They might lose a shade and a half, maybe 2 shades.
77%.
Yeah, but so that, I'm saying that all these cream users are included. So there's the extreme ones, and then there's the ones that are using cream that has lightening products in it, but it's not necessarily directly a lightening cream that makes sense. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Like it's not promoted. It's not it's this is a lightening cream. It's just this is just a
Blemishing.
blemish removal or evener or them kind of thing. So yes, 77%.
I'm reading this off the BBC website, this story, and they got a tweet here by our girl Sincerely Tops, and they've stamped her on their webpage.
Who's that?
Sincerely Tops.
BBC News.
BBC News. Okay.
Yeah, BBC News have put her tweet about Blac Chyna up there.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah, so big up yourself.
There's a video that has gone around long before this. It's if you go on YouTube and you type in Angel IKYG, there is a video that he posts about skin lightening cream, and it's about 21 minutes, but it goes deep into the root cause of skin lightening cream, skin lightening, self-hate. and all of that kind of stuff. And trust me, it's recommended. I watched it today with my sister and my mum actually, and it was it's an outstanding watch, man. Trust me. Angel IKYG on YouTube about skin lightening.
Do you think we're ever skin lightening is going to be eradicated? If so, when?
Like racism, I don't think so.
Nah, I think shadism's here to stay still.
It's ever growing market, and it's very much. You've seen 75%. It's growing. Growing and growing.
The problem
77%.
the problem
72%.
The problem with this,
10%.
the problem with this whole shadism thing is that it's not just being perpetuated from outside of the community is also perpetuating it. So imagine, if you will, a problem that is being re-energized or given new energy from the sufferers of the problem and the oppressor of the problem. So you get this massive snowballing effect where it now the people outside, the oppressors, don't have to work so hard to do it anymore because we're already spilling it ourselves. So in order for us to get to a point where we eradicate it, we have to get to a point where we can have the conversation about it in such a way that people can take a step back and objectively look at what is being done for the reasons that it's being done and appreciate that maybe those reasons are not of great value. The problem we have is on one hand, we say we don't like the bleaching thing, but then those people who are in those societies, and I'm saying that because I'm in the diaspora, it's slightly different. Same story, but slightly different in effect. Those people that are at home are seeing that their friend who started using bleaching cream and then all of a sudden got lighter seems to have now more opportunities, even though they both went to school together. They've got the same education. They've got the same whatever. So they see in the real world, hang on a minute, if you want to talk on the work level, they seem to be doing better that way. If you want to talk on a social level, other guys seem to be more interested in this woman, or other girls seem to be more interested in this guy since they got lighter. So we have the problem within ourselves. It's not a thing where we can say, "Oh,
yeah, I agree."
So I don't know how we can stop that.
I don't blame outsiders.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Eurocentric view of beauty which has been imprinted on us, and to get that off and away and to be removed from us is very difficult. It starts from the kids, man, and even then they're gonna have friends that haven't been taught.
I'm gonna say something radical. I just realized, sorry to jump into you there, but I'm going to go as far as to say, we'd say we don't care about the oppressor, but it might actually be the oppressor that ends up being the one that saves the situation. Because what you have to understand is they've pushed their standard and we've taken up their standard, yeah? And we've decided, because getting by in their world requires these things, or these things seem to make us get by more in their world, then if the oppressor turns around and says, well, this is the new thing, those that will start to slide that way. Because if you notice, as much as the weave and everything became a thing and the skin bleaching became a thing and all that, white people embraced big bottom and big chest. Notice that. So as much as the sisters who are wearing weave and who are bleaching their skin are concerned,
white people always love big chest.
Oh yeah, okay. But so no, it's that the sisters who are doing the bleaching and wearing the weave and all the rest of it are not in any hurry to try and get rid of bottom or breast, because that's also part of the accepted culture. You know what I'm saying to you? So I'm saying that if the oppressor then decides that natural hair of the black variety, 4C or whatever it's called, is now the new thing, I think that there will be an upsurgence of black people that will go that way.
Wow.
Have you not noticed already? It's more or less slightly happening, because you've seen this whole fad of these white girls tanning themselves or making themselves look mixed race.
We're getting there.
So it's just until it starts to level out, and then it starts going in the opposite direction.
The only problem we have is that the oppressor doesn't want the image of the black woman. The oppressor wants the image of a racially ambiguous woman,
Mediterranean,
who can be anything.
But then it's going further in direction, like you're saying, with the big bottom and the thicker lips and
Mediterranean looking woman, not so much from a black woman.
But then slowly it may get darker and darker. But like what you said,
I don't think they'll ever accept the black woman.
You don't think so? I mean, like what you said, though, simple, with having the conversation the conversation's been had a number of times. It's just that we're not listening because we're happy to see the fact that Yolanda's got lighter skin and she's getting more opportunities. Maybe it's time I do that and get those opportunities as well.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think we've had a conversation. I think we've had the same situation that we always have, where we have one group of people that are telling another group of people what they're doing is trash, is rubbish, is stupid. Why are you doing it? But that isn't a conversation. That is an admonishment from one side to the other.
It's Brexit all over again.
Yeah, basically. So the conversation is something that is completely different. We have to get to a space where I don't want to say no judgment, but it has to, at least one side has to feel like they're not being judged.
In real life, it's not going to happen because you have the enlightened, which I'm going to call people that don't do these kind of things, including like relaxing your hair and stuff
That's
like that.
irony there, the enlightened.
And then we have
The lightened.
the people that are on the other side. And they're always, not everyone's going to be enlightened. It's just that simple. So you're always going to have people on the other side. They're always going to, that's just the end of it, basically. Unless you have everybody that's conscious and enlightened or woke or whatever. And that's not life. Life goes in gradients and hierarchies.
And trends.
And yeah, there you go. So,
But Bun China and Blac Chyna and what she's doing over there. man.
Irony, Blac Chyna as well. But,
For real though.
can I ask a question?
No.
you asked the question if you could ask the question. You already asked the question.
You can say,
Yeah, fair enough.
do you feel like
Of course you can.
Do you feel like that secluded tribe has colorism problems?
No. Imagine though. Imagine. They probably do. They got nothing else to distinguish themselves from. That's probably
one
the reason.
light-skinned woman.
Remember, they always look. People, as human nature is always to find the thing that distinguishes you from another human and make that a problem. That's what it would do.
Do you
They'll
do you think that tribe will have that though?
They'll have something. They will have something, but I just
They'll
don't know
have
what it-
beef, but
Yeah, but it'll be over
be on
something that
something.
looks different. Like
Maybe.
one person's got extra
I-
toe or something, and that'll be that one that will be that
Well,
everyone
not one. It
says.
has to be some people.
even
You
in
can't-
nature you have that. It's true.
It's just how it is. Yeah.
No, a disabled calf or something will get shunned by its mother sometimes, you know. But anyway,
Survival of the fittest, I say, innit?
go ahead, ask the question.
So, Robert De Niro broke up with his wife, yeah?
Oh, damn.
So I was the old person, the two old people, as far as I'm concerned, were broken up. So I was wondering, if you was married for 40 years or whatever, and you're all 65s, whatever, and you decided at that time you don't like each other anymore, would you actually divorce the person or would you just carry on?
Some people want their end times to be happy, so they just want to get rid of it.
Yeah, but what are you gonna do?
I don't know. It depends. Who's been married 40 years?
I'm just saying, like, would you do it? Would you just say, you know what, the kids are old, we maybe stayed together for a while because of the kids, they're now left the nest, they're fully capable of doing what they're doing. I don't like you don't like me, we don't sleep in the same bed anymore, we don't do the same activities. Would you divorce them?
I don't think anyone answers because nobody wants to divorce. But it depends. If you've been with somebody 40 years, then that's a whole different realm than any of us are in. Once you're in that realm and you don't love the person anymore or you don't care for them, if there's no beef, you might even just get to the point where I'm here now, innit? And I've been there. I ain't got more than 10 years to go. And where am I going?
That's what I'm saying. Will
And
you
what
just
am I
stick it
doing?
out?
No,
I don't know,
Just
because
cheat.
I don't know if I'll stick it out because what was it us that was talking about it the other day when you got two old people together and one dies, the other one dies almost immediately afterwards. Yeah, so I don't want to get to that stage in it, so I'll bust out.
You're already there, but after 40 years, you must be there by then.
Not necessarily. That's when you love them.
Yeah,
If you want to leave, if you both don't care about each other, maybe that tie is not there.
Can you imagine starting your
No,
I don't know how old Robert De Niro is, but can you imagine starting over again, maybe 65?
he hasn't really got a problem.
Yeah, he's got money.
Exactly.
But if you was a man that just was retired,
Of simple
you just got your
needs.
pension.
But you hear a lot of these stories of elderly single couples that have found new love and they get married, and they're
Single couples.
elderly.
Listen,
In their elderly single people
Okay.
who get married, in their 60s and 70s, innit? You hear these stories that they go to these clubs and what have you, and then they meet somebody and they kind of fall in love
yeah,
again.
man,
and
you saw
That's like real love,
You saw
bro.
that video in the old folks' home.
Oh, jeez. That's the real love, though. Imagine if you can't bang still. That means that it's only for the conversation.
Yeah, but
always
you-
get
and
ahead.
companionship. Can you imagine?
But you're assuming that when you're at that age, banging is as important.
That's what I'm saying. Imagine it's only for the companionship that you're now meeting a person. Can you imagine if sex was not a thing at all? All it was the companionship.
But that's what a lot of couples do when they
Nice.
decide to not have sex before marriage. That they purposely want to find out if they can be
compatible as companions.
compatible as a proper couple where sex isn't a major part of their relationship.
To the
And then
woman.
when they get in there
And then they tell
can't
them, no, why?
Man's talking about Ghanaian relationships.
Christian don't suck pussy.
And in the Old Testament it said, "Thou shalt not suck of the vagina, for it is
unless you bless
the
it.
forbidden fruit, or was it not come split off."
Did the man just say, unless you bless it? Oh my God.
Dash that word there. So
Man spat on it.
I was going to branch off from the colorism issue and saying that the black women and talk about this the rap man.
Who's that?
Rap man is the dude that did what's it?
Shiro's
Story. So he's been picked
My
up by
G.
Rock
Nation.
Nation. That's Jay-Z's
No idea
company.
what you're talking about, bro.
Well, he did this thing called Shiro's Story.
You really like it. as
Part
well.
1, 2, and 3.
You'd really like
I
it.
still haven't seen any of them, but I'm going to. But it's highly loaded. And what does he do? He raps. So he raps the story.
Yeah, he raps a story, and they show basically it's a rap song, but the videos are like actual programs, like mini programs basically.
Okay.
So they'll rap a bit, and then there'll be normal acting throughout the bit of the video.
right.
Then he'll rap another bit, then he'll be acting, and then he'll rap another
So
bit.
do any of you know?
They're about 10 minutes long.
Sorry, I thought it was about 20. I don't think it's
No, he started off 10. Now it starts getting longer the more it gets on.
Do any of you know or remember Prince Paul or Prince of Thieves?
Yep.
His concept album.
Yep.
So there's a video there. So for all of you people, it wasn't sure if this is anything like that. I don't know. But if you go back and watch the video, because there is a long video for Prince Paul, Prince of Thieves, go listen to the album and watch the video, because the video is basically that. So it's a story.
It's very similar.
And but he doesn't rap it. Prince Paul is a producer, and he gets other rappers to play different parts. It's very good. A very good concept album from about 15
Long time ago.
15 years ago or so. I'm old. All right. But anyways, so he's doing his first film now because he's hooked up with Rock Nation. He's been given his own record label, and he's been given all these resources now to make his own film. Yeah, he's got his own record labels.
Wow.
Yeah, to assign who he wants.
I like what Rocker do.
So he apparently directs these Shiro stories as well, yeah?
I believe so.
But he counts himself as a writer director. So he's done a casting thing, and he's got a few different parts here. So one is Marco, who is male, 17 years and black. Hakeem is male, 17 years and black, Nigerian origin. There you go, the actor. You can pass for 17 maybe. Dwayne is male, playing a 17. He's black stroke mixed race. And then you have...
That's for simple. Keep going.
Fuck,
Leah. Sorry, no, you have Karina. Sorry, you have Leah, who's female, 17 years and black. Karina, female, 17 years, who's white or Mediterranean. Cheyenne, female, 17 years. Sorry?
Is that two Karinas?
No, Leah and Karina. Cheyenne, who's female, 17 years, black stroke Asian stroke Miss Rakes.
Why are you giving everybody how many in the cast?
It's important.
There's only 8, but people don't let me finish, innit? So there's Gallus, who's male, between 25 and 32. He's black stroke mixed race.
Simple.
And Tyrone, who's male, 25 to 35, and he's black. And for some reason, he's from Tottenham. So, but out of those 8, you had 3 girls, and only one of them can be black. The other 2 is either going to be Mediterranean, and Cheyenne, who can basically she's black, Asian, or mixed race. It's like whatever. But all the other men, apart from one who's mixed race, are black. And so, what do you think it is about this? Basically, somebody pointed out that this is a bit funny. You have all these characters, and most of the men are black, and then you only have 3 girls, and only one of them can be black. Why? And there was
5 guys and 3 girls.
There was an issue with that. Well, that doesn't make. Yes. Okay. Cool. I don't see the issue with it because you haven't seen the story. You don't know what it's about, but there was backlash about it. So he caught some heat for not promote or not casting for black or strictly black female actresses.
Like you said, you don't know all the stories, innit?
Does anyone feel that he should get gunned?
Depends. I don't think he should get gunned, but if it is, if it were me, I know what I would do. I'm all for putting as many of my black brothers and sisters on the screen, But each to their own, innit? But I don't know what the story's about, so
No one
Kudos
knows
to
the
him.
story about.
Good luck to him, mate.
Not been released yet.
But that's this joke, yeah, because this happened before. It happened with Chipmunk. He had a snippet of a video that went out, and it wasn't even one scene. I think it was just a screenshot. Yeah, and he was on a boat, and all the women in the boat were white. They went for him. Then this was apart from one. Sorry, they went for him, and this was just like a shot of the actual video, not the actual video itself. They went for him. I don't know if it was a week later or a couple of days later the video came out, and then it became quite obvious that was the only scene where there was a minority black female presence, and the rest of it. So like, people like to jump the gun too quick these days, isn't it? So yes, on paper that sounds like something, but I don't know what the roles are. If that black girl who's playing the black role there comes out to be the angel out of all of that, are we going to be upset now that the other two girls are not black, or are we going to be happy that?
If the other girls are crackers,
I think
know what I'm
there
saying?
is something in this. Are black women represented enough on British screen, for example?
We're overrepresented, bruv. In British screens, you're overrepresented.
We are.
Okay.
If you do it by percentage.
Okay.
yeah.
Then, okay, let me change the question. Do you see enough black women on British screen?
I see more than enough black women on British screen if you're looking at the numbers.
I don't personally. I don't think that there's enough.
Listen, the Chinese got something to complain about. The Koreans got something to complain
I
about.
don't care about them. Bro.
Well,
This is the thing, innit? I'm just talking about my people. innit?
Okay, then.
And all I'm saying is, if it were me and there were 3 positions or 4 roles that it didn't really matter what race they were. Like I said, I don't know the story. If it was just my story, I would have 4 of them as black women.
Let me ask you a question.
And one of them could be a crackhead or whatever. To me, it's about employing them
Let me ask you a question.
more than the actual story. But hey,
For every 100 people you see on TV, do you think how
Employment.
many of them are black?
sorry,
For every 100 people you see on TV, how many of them do you reckon are black?
I'll be guessing. You want me to just guess?
Just a pluck out a guess.
Every 100, maybe 5.
But then we're overrepresented.
Okay, and then I just said
And
that I would like to see more. That's all.
Then it's not really fair, then, is it?
you want to see
It's
more,
not
man.
fair,
Let them see more,
Ant.
man. Which
Who
one's
cares
see more,
about
man?
fair?
Take your people to Africa
that
if you want
fair.
to see more.
Like,
yes,
don't you fuck off then.
Any country in
It ain't
Africa.
been fair for us for a long time, mate. Fuck that.
Watch BET, bro. In relation to this project, it always comes down to the production.
Yes, the actor will speak. The expert.
Because in the production, your CD, who's your casting director, will look at the list and say, all right, we can make so-and-so this color, we can make so-and-so this ethnicity, we can make so-and-so this ethnicity.
PC.
End of the line goes to the producer because they're bringing in the money. And they'll say, right, we want this, this, and this to look like this. The writer may have written the roles for all black, but at the end of the day, your casting director and your producer will have the end say in who's going to be in it.
That happened in The Hate You Give.
Happens in The Hate You Give.
Yeah. All right.
Happens in a lot of movies.
So I'm saying this, yeah. If we're gonna be upset because there isn't enough black female roles in this thing, I'm gonna say for myself that I'm prepared to sacrifice the 2 out of the 3 roles for black women in that thing. If then we hear on the other side of it that the rest of the cast, and when I say cast, I mean behind the scenes lot, the boom mic people, the people that are doing screens, if they're all black, bruv, what are you complaining about?
I'm not saying that I'm upset. I said that I don't know the story in it, so I can't really pass comment. I just said if it were me, I know what I would do.
A lot of black women was upset because they feel like they're always the on the back burner, and they already assume that this person's going to be like the friend. They're not going to be the main person. They're going to be the ugly friend. And like
It'll
a bit
be
like
interesting to see.
a bit like Coming to America, where the dark skinned sister was the uglier sister than the light.
She was buff though.
Yeah, we know this, but in the time that it happened, and in the film, she was the one that everybody was the hand me down.
Can I give you the descriptions of the 3 black women? Because it gives you a short description.
That's why I don't know why you didn't
Are
say
they
that.
three
'Cause that's the
black
important
Because,
part.
well, this is the long thing.
Let it go. Go on.
Anyways,
Are they
so
three black?
no, the 3 women. Sorry,
Okay.
the 3
Just
women.
to make sure, because
Okay.
yes,
we
gotta
should be
make
right.
sure
Yes,
that the
yes.
information's correct.
All right, so
It's the Make Sure episode.
Karina, who was the white stroke Mediterranean, is classed as popular, fun, and adores male attention. Cheyenne, who's the black stroke Asian stroke mixed race, is strong, straight talking young lady, no nonsense, and not one to mess with. And Leah, who is
please.
who is definitely the black, is perhaps a non-obvious beauty with a good soul.
You see?
She's confident and knows her own mind, and in underlined, she must be able to sing.
Nah, fucking hell.
Is why they're pissed off now?
That makes it seem
Because I know the story, the background bit. That's why I didn't say nothing.
Shucking and jiving.
That's why I didn't say
man.
nothing when you lot was like, well, why? But they took the piss.
Must be able to sing, you know.
Fucking hell, bro.
Did that casting breakdown come from
Can she
the
dance
actual
as well?
production company?
Yeah.
IO casting.
Can
Have you
she
heard of them?
dance?
The non-obvious,
I
non-obvious beauty.
What the fuck is a non-obvious beauty? What does that mean?
The actor, isn't it?
No, but on the real though,
We all know what they mean by you know.
I don't. What does a non-obvious beauty
The
mean?
non-obvious one is the one that you.
Not the lighty, bruv. Not the lighty.
Yeah, she's a dark tar that you look at her.
Not the one that you will look at and be attracted to.
Hold on, which is the Destiny Child? The one, the dark one again?
Michelle.
No, Kelly.
Kelly's
Kelly's the non-obvious beauty. She's the one that you have to grow up and realize. Hold on,
Kelly's nice.
Is Kelly not a nice one? Like,
Well, Beyonce's gone now.
Kelly's the dark-skinned sister in Coming to America.
Yeah.
that's the non-obvious
Obvious beauty. Come on, look. You see it so
So
all
is
over
that
the
the way of
place.
saying dark skin?
Look how many girls you see in films where they got the dark skinned friend who's the mouthy one and blah blah blah, and then the light skinned girl is the one that you. In fact, that same film that we watched the other day, the one with the weave, or the way she cut off all her hair.
Yeah.
You know, it's had the one that Molly in it. Molly's is her friend.
Napoli Ever After.
Yeah. You know, it's had the light skinned girl was the popular one. All the men liked her, and Molly was the I can't remember her name in the film.
But she
Was
was
the
natural.
mouthy one? Was it that? Is that the same film?
I don't know what you're on about. I remember her friends, but her friends weren't in the film that much.
No, what film am I watching? There's a different film. Sorry. It's Night School.
Okay, I haven't seen that one.
Night School. Okay, so Night School was a film with Kevin Hart and what's that woman's name?
Tiffany Haddish.
Tiffany Haddish. So Kevin Hart's going out with a woman who's light skinned and you know she's very nice and she's dainty. You've seen it, yeah?
Yeah.
And then the friend who's Molly from Insecure is the dark-skinned friend who's mouthy, always cussing him behind his back.
I want you to
always
see his
shaking
neck.
his neck.
As he
That's
said
exactly
it.
how they made it. Always shaking his neck. That's what they do in most films. You always have the light-skinned girl, and then you have the dark-skinned girl that's the friend. Either she's mouthy or she's the non-obvious beauty that after the man's finished with the light-skinned girl, he then decides, oh my gosh, you are actually the
You're the
ugly
true
one.
righteous one.
The true one that I'm supposed to love. Let me find you.
In Boomerang, was the one that you went for after, was she darker? Or
Amma Time was a bit darker than
Boomerang. Halle Berry.
Halle Berry
was
and,
still light skin.
Yeah, Halle Berry's light skin.
Robin Gibbons, isn't it?
Robin Gibbons was a bit darker than Halle Berry.
Oh, so you went-
Well, Robin Gibbons was again. She was the
aggressor.
dangerous one.
Yeah.
She was the this. She was
The
not a
neck
nice girl.
twisting.
And you know what's so upsetting about all this?
Yeah.
It upsets you now. Before you didn't
No,
didn't
I'm
care.
saying,
Light.
Oh, no, what you've just talked about now. What's upsetting about that is that it is prominent in Nollywood movies as well. It is prominent in Nollywood movies. They got another theme that they
They
bring
have
with it.
Nyash.
No, but they've got another theme that they bring with it as well. That when the person comes from the village or from the rural area, they have their hair natural. The minute they come to town and they step up,
Their transformation.
all of a sudden the weave just pops out from
They
something.
can afford it. That's a money thing, though, isn't it? That's like a money
I
thing.
tell you something funny in relation to all of this. A lot of the times when you see in briefs and castings, when they do the breakdown, they always put any ethnicity to make it general and broad to give everybody the opportunity. They don't discriminate because they do any ethnicity. So only after you get into the door, they decide who they want. And more
Right,
often than not, they'll pick the lighter version.
right.
So we would like a male with a broadish type nose, whitish type lips,
Dreadlocks.
a certain type of thicker hair. But you could be any ethnicity. Any
ethnicity.
You get a white guy, you know, saying
run,
that that's
run
me.
fast.
Or they'll say, can we have more of a... Do you know Ricky Whittle? Yes, more like Ricky. Yes, you know Ricky, don't you? So we're like, all right, cool, fine.
And then what's that guy's name? The one we talked about last week who done the transracial thing, just rolls
That's what
up
I'm saying.
there.
That's what I'm saying. You get a white guy that will say, well, that's me.
Yeah.
Even touching on that, which is funny again. Sorry, I did a commercial. I'm not plugging anything, but I did a commercial and
Plug.
I was part of a family. So my wife was considerably lighter than me.
You had a wife.
A wife.
Oh wow.
And
So
then
you were the
two,
black stud?
2 mixed race children.
You were the black stud.
I was the black stud.
Hold on.
how it goes, isn't
So you had a black wife with 2 mixed race children.
No, a very fair skinned white.
Oh,
she
mixed
could
race.
she could pass for white.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
White
she
passing.
was white passing.
Is this a commercial that we're going to see?
Quite possibly, yeah.
Yeah, that's the agenda that they're pushing out there now, isn't it?
There is in most
commercials
most
now.
commercials you see.
Yeah, you don't-
It's a mixed family.
It's true, mixed families now.
And it's
And now you've co-signed
and the thingy bob, the dynamic is
anything for
typically the man is the black one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mad.
You wanted blacks on TV where they can't be with other blacks. They gotta have mixed babies.
Segregating these
You know how
blacks.
that triggers black women though? Triggers them. Because the one time you see black fathers is with a white woman.
Yeah, I know. But it's true. It's true. Brother,
And that's why a father is important in your life.
No, that's annoying though. That's annoying. I can see why you get triggered. I get triggered
I'm
by
triggered
it.
up blatantly.
When I see it, I'm just like, watching TV with my dad is deep because we won't say nothing while we're there, and the advert will finish, and I'll be like, "Did you notice that?" And he'd be like, "Yeah,
but
I saw it."
Yeah,
The
but
black
men are
unit
trash,
is
innit?
not something they like to promote heavily.
Men are trash.
And even when they promote the black unit, like they did in the Tesco advert, they had the dog at the dinner table eating pork. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
You understand?
Like that's a black family Christmas. That's when
And
they
the
eat
dog
a
was
whole
eating
pork,
pork.
you know.
Rah.
And the dog's at the dinner table. Since when? Since
true.
when is dog even allowed in the house?
Dog.
So they didn't even call it dog in the
Dog.
first place.
Dog. Yeah.
Nonsense.
You had that guy from what's that? That Netflix show that's been cancelled.
House of Cards.
Luke Cage?
Luke Cage. He said that he's with a white woman.
Yep.
And he openly said that
Please,
when I was broke and had nothing,
You're the only one that took me in.
she stayed by my side.
Oh, that's all right.
Or the white woman was the only one that.
No, did he say that or he said her? Because that's fine. If people say, why are you with this woman? He's like, listen, I've been with her before I was popular. When I was broke, she was there with me.
That's what
Then-
Ghost said as well, isn't it?
Then, who, Jacob?
No, Ghost from Power.
Oh, I don't-
Hardwick.
Because his wife is very ugly.
Yeah, but the thing is that that's.
Did you say his wife is very ugly?
He didn't just give her a standard ugly, you
It's
know.
true.
He stamped it with the very in front.
He
And
said,
black women was upset, boy. Because they're like, why?
Did he actually
Is she-
say
is she
my
black or
wife is
white?
very ugly?
Is she, what colour is she?
She's white. She's white. But my man saying that is to suggest that a black woman wouldn't stick by his side.
If you never said anything
Yeah,
about
but
it.
why is he saying that then?
Because they were asking, why are you married to this woman? And he's telling you, I'm married to this
because
woman
I love
because she's
her,
stuck
innit?
with me.
Because I love her.
Yeah, but
innit?
part of the
It's
reason
like-
why he loves her is, it might not even be that he loves her. It might just be because she's stuck with him. That might be the reason why he stayed.
So I owe you.
In a way.
Yeah, but any woman can stick by him, innit?
But that not any woman did. That one did, didn't it?
So that's, so he's defending his... What would you
Because
do?
she saw the potential in him.
What would you do if somebody was attacking
let's
you
not
for
go there,
going
bro.
out with somebody?
This is what I'm saying. I don't know how I could be famous and people are just attacking my wife anyhow, you know.
I told you.
I don't know.
Couldn't do it.
I don't know. I mean, good luck to those guys. I mean, when you enter into an interracial relationship,
interracial.
it is you know that there's going to be certain comments and that you will be a target. So I think that sometimes they prepare themselves for certain questions. So good luck to them, mate. If they want to go down there and do that,
It's a bit deep though, isn't it?
and that's their business.
It's a bit deep that you want to get into a relationship with someone and you've got to worry about what the outside world has
because
to
it's
say
the
about
world
your
that we
relationship.
live in.
It's mad.
See, I just called the man's wife ugly. That was unnecessary.
It's the world we live
Why,
in.
she not- she not ugly?
They do not want to show a black man with a black woman on TV.
Who's they?
Society, advertisers, and all these people.
That's harsh. She's not very ugly. It's harsh, man.
It is a black man with a white woman or a very, very fair-skinned black woman with mixed race kids.
Is the woman in Blackish? She's the Ross woman.
Yeah.
She's light skin, isn't it?
She's very light.
I don't think I've seen an advert with a black couple.
You just spoke about one on Tesco.
The Tesco man.
I ain't seen. I don't know what he's on about, but it's
The whole Tesco Christmas advert.
The whole family's black as well.
Oh wow, that's wicked.
Which,
But it's just Christmas, isn't it? It's only for Christmas.
but it surprised me though.
that's your gift.
Yeah, it surprised you because it's very uncommon that you will not see that.
No, I'm not. Yeah, it's uncommon, but it's also the other thing that I'm talking about with the
It is far,
representation.
I'll battle you, bruv.
The representation as well.
Hala
like,
just fired, man.
you know.
Man said no.
I just don't think we should be looking to European media to give us the images that we need.
What do you mean European media?
Because you want to see it on
It's
the
just
mainstream.
media.
No, you want to see it on the mainstream.
That's why I said go back home. If you want to see blacks,
I can tell you now, there's 2 channels that we watch religiously in our household at the moment. Yeah, one is called Rock, ROK, and the other one is called Inyanga. Yeah, they're both African channels, African centric channels. They're free channels. Nothing but African movies on there, African news, African music. You see blacks there.
And that's fine.
Watch that.
I know rock, and that is watched in the house. But does that mean that we cannot see African couples on mainstream telly? Why not?
Why does this woman unnecessarily? The woman's not very ugly.
Why do you need to see that though? That's what I'm saying to you.
Because I want to see a
But she's not
representation of myself
fantastic.
everywhere.
Yeah, but you're not the prominent or
She's
predominant.
not Sarah Jessica Parker.
I don't care. What my issue is
That's
that
very
there is an agenda.
Okay, so
purposely,
all right. So let me.
to purposely.
So it's up to
not,
us.
No. Let me. Sorry,
show
Stav.
that
Sorry, Stav. Let me do a stab on you now.
on
Yeah.
on TV.
Let me do a stab on you. Yeah.
Why do we have a problem with it?
No, but wait. I'm saying. Let me do a stab on you. You repatriate back to Nigeria. Yeah. You're living your life. Yeah. And then all of a sudden on television you start seeing white couples. Yeah.
Where?
On mainstream television. Start seeing white couples, whether they're
Back home.
Yes, you're in Nigeria, you're watching your sitcom or whatever it is, and there's white couples. And then you're watching adverts and then there's white couples. And then you look at the country and you say, well, how is it possible that white people are on or are represented in at least every single show on our television?
I would have said Chinese.
Or Chinese, doesn't matter. Yeah. And
But
the population of them in this country is so small. How is that possible?
Yeah, but
Are you going to tell me you'll be all right with that?
There is more of a percentage of black people in Britain and Europe than there is a percentage of the white people in Nigeria and Africa. And that's just a fact. So,
No.
yes, it is, bro.
And Africa.
Yes.
South Africa,
Okay.
Zimbabwe. Tanzania. Swaziland.
Okay. Let's talk about Nigeria. Yeah. I know Nigeria more. You get me? But
Even in
you know,
Nigeria, there's more white people in Nigeria than you realize. Go to Jos.
there's not
Go to
there's-
Jos.
Yeah, there's not as many as white people than there are black people and ethnic minorities in the UK. You get me? All I'm saying is that I know the agenda, I see the agenda, and I would just like to see a representation
You
of
swerved
myself.
my question though.
No, I would just like to see a representation of myself on mainstream telly. Why is that a problem?
I'm saying to you, you swerved my question
You got
completely.
roots, man.
Don't you watch Luther? Don't you watch Luther, bro?
You watch Roots.
You swerved my question. My question was, if you're in Nigeria and you're seeing white people pop up on the TV like that,
I answered the question
no, how did you answer the question?
by giving you my answer.
I'm saying, so was you okay with that then?
Okay.
With
Why
the
you
white
keep
people,
farting, bruv?
with white people being on screen, are you okay with that?
If the percentage of white folks was as much as the percentage of black folks here, then it would make sense. Yes, because there's a lot of black people here. So if there's a lot of white people in,
There's a lot of black people in London.
Bruv, we're,
yes, I know.
we're like 4% of the whole population.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. And I'm saying
4%. That's not a lot of black people.
okay, but we influence the nation, just like we've said. The
It's not our country.
So you've moved.
Okay.
So you've
You know what? The way how I see it is that we continuously make an excuse for what we want or what we demand. This is what I would like to see. It is always questioned by our own. I would like to see a representation of my own people, more of my people in this country.
Please,
What I
sir.
can
Please,
see-
sir. Can I have more?
What I can see is that there is a purposeful agenda of not portraying black couples on TV, because it's almost seen as if, you know, having a black man and a black woman together just is not a representation of black people. And we spoke about this a couple of podcasts ago in a textbook, that the black man is not with the black woman. You will always see that in black society. And this is what I'm saying, that there is a hidden agenda. I don't like it. I'm just saying
was
that I
about
would
Caribbeans.
Caribbeans. Okay.
Mr. Wolf, do you pay your
I'm-
TV license?
I'm just saying that I would like, bruv. Jokes aside, all I'm
no,
saying.
I'm not even joking.
Yes.
Then you have a right to write to the powers that be and say, look, I pay my TV license to see this, this, and this, and I'm not seeing my people represented.
That's only on BBC though.
Can you please do some more representation of black families? Because I feel like I'm being disenfranchised.
Well, like I said initially with the initial debate, is that if it was down to me, I know what I would do. I would like to see more black women on TV. I'd like to see more black men on TV. That's all. And with the adverts that we see the black man and the white woman and the mixed race couple, you see that a lot more. Why? Why are we seeing that?
Because it kind of ticks all boxes, isn't it?
All right.
You got a darkie, you got a whitey.
And it also, to a level, it represents what is actually going on in society, because there is a lot of mixed relationships. There's more mixed relationships than the same relationships.
Is there more mixed relationships than
I don't know if I can throw
black
that out there, but if you look at the whole country, again, not just
London.
not just London,
Not just London, not just the UK.
not just Manchester, not just
Hackney.
Liverpool.
I'll go as fast as they say this. If you, just
You know-
Liverpool alone, it's the most mixed race place on the
Liverpool,
planet.
Yeah.
So that's just one town.
And Manchester.
Manchester's very much like that town as well.
Yeah.
I'd
So-
like to know what the figures are if there's, more interracial relationships.
There probably are figures out there.
than black couples.
All right, we're done. I was gonna, unfortunately, try and talk about that school that was banning them expensive clothes, but we have run out of time on this episode. So let's do our church notes and our socials and get out of here. Let's start off with the actor.
I was actually going to say, before we do our church notes, I know we ran out of time and I was late and I do apologise. Does anybody remember one of their favourite episodes from our last 100?
The one where I go home.
Oh man!
Look at
his face.
Look at what Allah, the
After
headphones
he's done
is
about
halfway.
6-7 farts and spell up the place.
Tired him out, innit?
That's his way of telling us to go home,
It's
innit?
2 hours. We started later than we were supposed to. I'm tired.
I think I like Stavros said I like episode 99. I'm thinking that might be my favorite episode,
cool.
Oh wow!
maybe of this season.
The last one.
The last one, I really like it. I really enjoyed
Last week, go and watch it. Listen.
Simple.
I don't remember. I just know that there was a moment where he said that Darth Vader was the original baby father, and I nearly died.
Yes,
I thought that was hilarious.
it. That
but
would've been-
that's one of the
That's
best.
like the pigeon.
The pigeon one.
Pigeon thing, yeah.
Oh, so
The
that's
pigeon
like,
one?
the first one of the first 10, I think.
Yeah, the pigeon comment and the Darth Vader comment was.
I nearly
hilarious.
died, man. And then there was something about uncle as well. He said something about uncle. He finished me off. That was the. I don't know what number that is, but that's the one.
Mr. Wolf.
I can't remember either. But I think that there was. I can't remember. I'll be guessing which number, but there was a batch of episodes that I thought were just truly excellent. Maybe around 78 or 79 or something like that. But I'll be guessing. But those early episodes with relation to Darth Vader and the pigeon. What was it about? Jollof rice, isn't it? Yeah. It was the pigeon going.
Pigeon eating.
You know what? I'm not gonna throw
Ghanaian
shade.
jollof.
I'm not gonna throw shade on our Ghanaian brothers anymore.
We
but
got the whole episode,
Leave it.
yeah, without doing it.
you get me. So I'll just leave it there. But large
Nah,
up
I
to
custom
everybody
one,
for
but-
100, man. 100.
That was episode 3 of season 2.
Wow.
The cats, dogs, rodents, and pigeon episode.
Isn't that the one we were talking about? The cats when they had the cats.
We were talking about.
When they had pussy in it. When they don't. They think it's talking to them when they're banging. There's something wrong with us.
Who was saying that it was you, Sim, wasn't it?
Yeah,
you
that
was
was
banging,
banging and the cat came in
and
the
the
house.
cat came and watched you banging.
Yeah. Come and touch me on the leg.
I think that was the same one.
They came and touched me on the leg.
We did, bro.
Virgin.
Hey, bro. we did.
Bro, what? And I told him I look at the cat. The cat's looking at me. I'm like, bro, what?
It's hungry, man.
I'm like, yeah, all right, move, innit? Get the cat away. I'm trying to get into the cat. The cat's scratching me. Come on, man.
The cat say check pussy.
Check, boss.
Your favorite episode?
I can't even remember, but I do enjoy the episode where
It said very ugly.
Simple, Wahala, and Mr. Wolf were on by themselves. We wasn't there.
Okay, so that's about, 6 or 7 episodes ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that one was silky smooth.
that was a
one.
very good episode. Wasn't the best, but it was very good.
It's butter.
But I had to get his little dig in there with the compliment. Has Mr. Wolf answered?
Yeah. I've answered, man.
Everyone's done? Okay, cool. You don't want to say anything other than the one I got to go home?
I don't. Are we talking about just this season?
Whenever.
If it's just this season, I don't know. If we talk about the ever, it's the one we was talking about, where and it's so bad. The one we were talking about your domestic abuse might be my favorite podcast ever, because that was so funny. But if we're talking about this season,
Davos has got a straight face.
if we're talking about this season,
Eat cake anime.
You know, actually, I want to play the intro for that
so
one.
bad.
Let me see if I can find it. I think I know the number, you know. Is it 24?
Church notes, anyone?
You see,
gonna-
you carried it on. That's why.
Because I just think the intro for that was so funny. But it doesn't matter. All right, fine.
Find it while we say our church notes, isn't it? And we'll sign out with
This
that.
is what I started off. Anyway, sorry.
We'll sign out with that. Find it, and we'll do our church notes.
Yeah.
Simple church notes.
Yo, at Simple Simon FB on Twitter. I've got Nout to plug today because I didn't even know what I was going to come and plug. So I would say to you, be good to each other. Bugsy Malone, man.
When I come true.
By Agrove.
Big agrove, man. Sproggy.
Why?
Why, lad? Mohala.
A big wahala on Insta, a big wahala on Twitter.
Mr. Wolf.
AKA Mr. Wolf on Insta, AKA _ Mr. Wolf on Twitter. I do want to plug one thing. This is a lady called the Great Griot. And that's why I wanted to get some kind of way or idea of what griot actually means. And she's a fantastic orator of Black history. So go on YouTube, type in the Great Griot, and you will find Black history narrated in an amazing way. One of my favorite stories is one of Thomas Sankara. If you don't know that guy, get to know him. Fantastic man who is no longer with us, but the Great Griot on YouTube.
Plug.
Out of Their Skin, this Tuesday, the release date of this podcast, watch it on ITV4. It is Ian Wright and his story about racism in football. When Tuesday and Wednesday, the release date of this, watch it ITV4, 10 p.m. Boom.
Plug.
If you don't know, now you know. It's DATACTOR on Instagram and the Twitter. That's your boy, the actor. I would like to plug Women of the Lens film festival that will be on the 15th and the 16th of December 2018 at Close Up Cinema Centre, London. Tickets are available. They are between £5 and £10 via Eventbrite. I will be having a film that is screened there called I Woke Up This Morning Wanting to Kiss You.
Plug.
Look at this man sleeping. Has he done anything?
Check it out.
It's just me.
Yeah.
It's just you.
All right, and I am Stavros Boss. You can catch me at Stavros Boss everywhere. Collectively, we are at ESN Podcast. I didn't do this in the beginning, did I? You can catch us at ESN Podcast on all your social medias. Use the hashtag ESN Pod to join in the conversation. Wish us happy Centurion, whatever you want to do.
Centenary.
Okay, cool. Thank you. And my Stavros Says this week is episode 11. So 0011, season 1 of Eloquently Say Nothing, where this happened. I didn't mean to play that. That is how it used to start.
Are you sure that ain't a funny clip or something?
No.
This is Stavros speaking here. I'm going to pour out my heart. I've been on the receiving end of domestic violence. Can you imagine? Yeah, I'm not even joking. Yeah? And these men know that I've been on the receiving end of domestic violence. And this is what the boys do. They laugh.
Did she try to set you on fire? Did she beat you out your sleep?
Come on. Yeah, ask me about it. Come on. I'm going to hell.
All right. Thank you very much for
We
listening.
got some backlash for that, but fuck them.
Wow.
Thank you very much for listening to Eloquently Say Nothing for the past 180 odd episodes. We are out.
And continually, we would like to say, if you ain't saying nothing, please say it well.
Slag for life. All right. I'll chop and screw that. This one wants to keep complaining on the podcast, man.